Record-breaking snow to parts of the tri-state.
We're going to get the very latest with Chief Meteorologist John Gum, and it is a record-breaking snow, right, John?
Well, it's one of the snows that we haven't seen around here since 2008, so it's kind of a big deal. Take a look at it. It's moving out right now. Last of the snow is pushed to the east of Cincinnati. Still some flakes flying. New Vienna, Hillsborough. We've got a few flakes on the east side of downtown Cincinnati, but the accumulating snows are starting to wind down. West Union, Maysville, Ripley, Winchester, and Peebles, you are still seeing the flakes fly, but the accumulating stuff, it's going to move out shortly, and you can see the last of it exiting the tri-state to the east. Cloud cover kind of lingering as we take you through the night, and yeah, a few flurries will be possible from time to time through the evening, but nothing else that's going to stick tonight. Take a look at the totals that we have in Cleve with 11 inches, over 10 at the International Airport. These reports came in as of 1 o'clock, so they're a couple hours old now, but Covedale had over 10 inches, Mason with around 10, just shy of that at last check in Montgomery, and in College Corner, Indiana, shy of 10 inches at last check. Loveland, Bethel, last check with 9 West Union, and around 9 in Hillsborough. So yeah, a whole lot of snow, and those flakes are still flying up in Oxford. It's more of flurries right now up there. 26 winds northwest at 20. That's blowing the snow around, and a wind chill now of just 12 degrees, and that's going to be the big deal into the evening. These wind chills are going to be in the teens. They're going to go into the single digits, if not sub-zero wind chills by morning. So it's going to be plenty cold, and with those winds gusting to 35 at the airport, 29 in Wilmington now, that's going to continue to blow the snow around. So we'll have blowing snow, we'll have some drifting snow out there as we move through the evening, and that's just going to keep the roads kind of ugly. Temperatures, they're going to fall through the 20s this evening as we clear out, and if we get a little clearing, we could easily reach the single digits tonight for lows. So that is going to mean road conditions are just going to be bad tonight. The snow ends, flurries linger, some gusty winds, blowing snow, some drifting snow, and the same into the morning. Winds won't be as strong tomorrow morning, but still a bit breezy, so some flurries around, snow blowing around, sub-zero wind chills, still not a good deal in the morning, but perhaps a little improvement tomorrow afternoon as we see some peaks of sun and perhaps a few flurries still hanging on. I'm going to put this more in perspective on how this snow ranked with our biggest two-day snow totals in the tri-state ever, coming up on my Weather Authority forecast.
And crews have been out for 2 days trying to get a handle on the snow, and our crews are out right now all around the tri-state.
Yeah, we want to begin in northern Kentucky. That's where we find Local 12's James Pilcher. James, I know you were keeping your eye on the Cut in the Hill, a major problem spot anytime we see weather like this. Where are you now?
Actually, I can tell you the traffic is light and steady on I-70, 175 in the Cut in the Hill, but it wasn't always that way. I'm right here above it, and conditions are nowhere as good here on local roads as the snow and the slush here behind me on Kyles Lane. As you said, the northbound interstate was closed for more than 7 hours due to a tractor trailer that jackknifed at about 3 a.m. this morning. That forced traffic on the secondary routes through Fort Wright and Covington. Those lanes are clear now, as you can see from video taken earlier by photographer Eric Earhart. But the side streets here in Dixie Highway and Kyles Lane and elsewhere in northern Kentucky remain an issue. Eric also got the shot of a tank bus spinning out. Fort Wright Mayor Dan Hatter says the highway shutdown slowed things down when it came to clearing the local streets.
So when you dump that kind of traffic into what is essentially a residential city like Fort Wright, it puts a lot of strain on the system. It clogs up the arteries. Then you have people taking the other side streets. It makes it more difficult for the plows to get through.
Now, we've gotten as much as a foot total in this area, but the wind has died down a bit from where it was at noon, and the snow has slowed. We even saw the sun peek out just a little bit. Now, later I'll be back with how things are in other parts of northern Kentucky, plus how local drivers are coping with this huge snowfall. Live in Fort Wright, James Pilcher, back to you guys.
All right, James, thanks for painting that picture for us. Stay warm out there. Well, the city of Cincinnati has more than 100 drivers working 12-hour shifts until those roads are cleared.
A spokesperson reminding drivers stay home as possible and use caution if you have to be out on the roadways. We're checking in live with Chelsea Sick, who's in Columbia and Tusculum. You've been posted up there all day. Chelsea, have the conditions improved at all?
Well, we're right now on 50 and Stanley Avenue, and we were out here at noon, and so far conditions look a lot better. As John Gum mentioned, we're just seeing those small flurries, and it's already making a big difference on these roadways. Crews are able to just finally keep up with these major thoroughfares here throughout Cincinnati. I mean, this road was completely snow covered here two hours ago, if not even less than that. But this is what is still really tricky throughout Cincinnati. You can see these side roads. This is Stanley Avenue. It's obviously we're dealing with the hills here in Cincinnati. The plows are having a hard time getting to these side roads. It's just not the main priority. You can see up the hill here, we've got a postal worker stuck. It looks like they have a tow truck here now to help them get out. I mean, goodness, those workers, they work so hard in the summer. In the winter, they are always out. So hopefully they're able to get out of that situation here shortly. But this is something that we've seen throughout the day here in Columbia, Tusculum. We want to show you some video. We've seen drivers in all different kinds of vehicles, pickup trucks, cars, really struggling to get down 50 and turn on to those side roads. I was talking to Assistant Fire Chief Matt Flagler today, who says as of this morning, the plows were out and they had been through 11,000 miles in Cincinnati. Of course, they want to get through those major thoroughfares. They have to get to the hospital routes before they really focus on these side roads, and they're really trying, but with that snow continuously coming down throughout the day today, it was hard for them to keep up. Hopefully now that it's dying down, we will start to see some of those side roads treated as well. But I did talk to Chief Flagler about how their crews are keeping up. Take a listen.
It's been a busy day in the city, responding to all kinds of emergencies to support the public. Luckily, we haven't had any major structure fires, only minor incidents in that regard so far, but we're out there doing our best to help the public. Some things that we know about, telling everybody the same message is if you don't have to be on the roads today, please don't go out. Dealing with a lot of stuck motorists, so we want to make sure that everybody stays indoors if they can. If you can have the ability and can take a look at the exhaust pipes of your HVAC system, your furnace. If you can look at the exhaust pipes of your furnace outside, make sure they're not blocked by snow or ice. That can cause a backup of fumes like carbon monoxide and can make you sick. So we want to make sure you can check on that or call a professional.
I take 50 westbound into work every morning. This morning, it was me and just a few other cars around 8:30 this morning. Hopefully that means a lot of people decided not to go into work downtown this morning and are instead staying home. This is when we'd really start to see that evening commute start to pick up here, especially after the Daniel Carter Beard Bridge closure. So we're going to stick around here throughout the evening, but I have a feeling that a lot of people stayed home and won't be heading eastbound to the east side of Cincinnati here on 50 this evening. Back to you on the studio.
We can't see more roadway than we could at noon, so things are improving, as you said, Chelsea. Thank you. And our Katie Emrine is in the Local 12 live drive. Katie, where are you at in the tri-state, and what are the roadways like?
Hey Megan, I am out here in Blue Ash on one of the side streets, and things are definitely starting to look better around this part of our tri-state. I'm currently on Brasher Avenue. It's one of the side streets, and right now it's definitely a lot clearer than it was probably a couple hours ago. I mean, when we went out on the main drags and the thoroughfares, getting here, it was definitely much easier to get through. The roads are clear, and we're getting clearer anyway, and the snow is pretty much stopped altogether here, so that's a good sign. I did see a couple salt trucks and some snow plows coming through. We even went to another community just a couple blocks away, a couple of Storybrooke lane, I believe it was, and it was totally plowed, totally clear there. Could really see the pavement, so things are definitely getting a lot better. That's not the case for all side streets. We did go to another one, London Bridge, also in the Montgomery Blue Ash area, and that one had not been plowed, it seemed like, in a long time. So it's kind of a hit or miss, but those main stretches, those main thoroughfares, the highways and US 50 and things like that, they're definitely getting a lot better. But we'll be out here for the rest of our newscast this evening, but for now, live in Blue Ash, Katie Emrine, Local 12 News.
All right, Katie, drive safe, and we're going to check in with her a little bit later on, and plus have a look at other parts of the tri-state coming up throughout this newscast.
Well, the snow and the ice can also cause some disruptions to Metro bus service. The transit system says that buses will still run during the winter weather, but there could be some delays and detours. People can use Metro's app to get updates. They can also call the customer care center until 5 today and from 6:30 tomorrow morning until 6 tomorrow evening. Well, the NFL playoff picture is set. The Bengals, well, they're not part of it this year.
Coming up, heads are rolling as the team prepares for another attempt at the postseason next year.
The Weather Authority isn't just a slogan. We have to live up to that every single day. When severe weather hits and people are looking for live local updates, that's why we're here. Local 12 has the meteorologist you know and trust, making us the Weather Authority.
Sky-high medical bills.
We've seen rampant increases. We've seen rampant errors and overcharges.
And mystery fees. What you can do to fight back. Local 12 investigates. Tonight at 6.
Purchase a new heating and cooling system from Hauser Heating and Air and we'll buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Save up to $4,500 through tax credits and other discounts when you upgrade to a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system. Hauser Heating and Air offers expert technicians, flexible payment options, and our exceptional service guarantee, ensuring your peace of mind. Request your complimentary consultation or second opinion from Hauser Heating and Air today. Call 513-777-7979 to schedule your appointment.
If you're living with diabetes, this is the sound that could change your life.
Great news for people living with diabetes. Now you can wear a continuous glucose monitor and eliminate routine finger sticks. The days of repeated, painful finger sticks are over.
Just call 800-806-4083.
If you use insulin daily to manage your condition, a continuous glucose monitor could help you control your diabetes and reduce or eliminate those painful finger sticks. If you have Medicare or private insurance, US Med can deliver a CGM system right to your door. And if you qualify, there may be little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurer directly. Call now to get your continuous glucose monitoring system so you can take control of your diabetes and get back to enjoying life.
Just call 800-806-4083. That's 800-806-4083.
The Bengals season might have come to an end, but there are changes already being made ahead of next season.
That's why they call it Black Monday. Local 12's Yanni Tregelis joins us now to talk more about the pink slips that were handed out today. Yanni?
Yeah, guys, they call it that for a reason. NFL coaches around the league whose teams underperformed during the season, they wait to learn their fate today. The Bengals made their decisions, firing most notably defense coordinator Lou Anarumo, who had been with the team since 2019. Anarumo's time at Cincy comes to an end after the Bengals missed the playoffs with the 25th-ranked defense in yards and points allowed. Anarumo, not the only coach let go today. Offensive line coach Frank Pollock also fired after another season where Joe Burrow was under relentless pressure and sacked 48 times. And on the defensive side, linebackers coach James Betcher and offensive line coach Marion Hobby also moving on. Head coach Zach Taylor earlier today discussing those firings made after a 9-8 season.
Just as I evaluate everything within the organization, I just felt like we needed to make a change there. And it's as simple as that. And we'll start that process immediately of evaluating where we need to go and who we want to bring in to help take us to the next level. But again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what those guys did. And they worked hard every single day, and they're great football coaches, and they'll land on their feet very quickly.
And Anarumo had received some head coaching considerations after the Bengals Super Bowl appearance in 2021. But after 6 years on the job, that included defenses ranked in the bottom half of the league in points allowed for 5 of those 6 years. The Bengals choosing to move in a new direction. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, cornerstone left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. calling the firing of Frank Pollock a hard one for him, saying he helped make him a huge leap in his career under Pollock. Guys.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And the playoff picture is officially set. In the AFC, the Chiefs with the top seed, followed by the Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Steelers, and Broncos. They're all in. In the NFC, the top seeded Lions, then the Eagles, Buccaneers, Rams, Vikings, Commanders, and the Packers round out the field.
Paycor could be acquired. The company with the naming rights to the Bengals Stadium is in talks to become part of Paychex. Paycor is one of Cincinnati's largest public companies. Now the Norwood-based business could be taken over by the Rochester, New York Paychex, which is a large player in the HR and payroll sector as well. The two sides are said to be in advanced talks. It is not clear how an acquisition could impact the stadium naming rights. Congress convenes today in a joint session to certify Donald Trump's presidential election win. We'll have the very latest.
And of course, snow is still the talk of the town. Or even out there, you can see right here, this is a live look at 71 at Kings Mills this afternoon. A few semis scrolling by, but that's about it. Roads look a little bit clearer than they did earlier today, so certainly good news as crews continue to work on getting things drivable for you. We're going to be back with a look at how these conditions could be impacting your area. That's ahead in your Weather Authority forecast.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming repair and replacement costs all around your house. Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, even your garage door opener, and more.
We've had our hot water tank replaced, washer fixed, with our upstairs and downstairs AC units fixed or replaced.
If there's one guarantee in home ownership, it's that things are going to break down. That's why I tell all my customers, get First American before your next repair.
There's always something that's going to break.
When an appliance or system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it. And if they can't repair the covered item, we'll make sure they replace it.
When you put in a request for service, it's like that.
We had a contractor out within 24 hours because he said, I didn't want you guys to go another day without heat.
As a contractor, they're so easy to deal with. They truly want me to do right by their members.
We've saved thousands of dollars with First American that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
I looked at more than one, and this was the best.
First American has been a trusted name for decades and is highly rated by customers on major review sites.
They follow through on what they say they're going to do. That's everything.
But with all the repairs that have come through First American, the plan has been paid for many times over.
And now you can lock in your low monthly rate. All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-974-3069. That's 1-800-974-3069 to get your free no obligation quote. So call now.
Four years to the day after a violent mob of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol and interrupted Congress as lawmakers gather to certify Joe Biden's presidential win, Congress convenes in a joint session today, this time to certify Donald Trump's 2024 presidential election win. Lawmakers gathered in the Capitol under extremely tight security measures to count the electoral votes and declare Trump the winner. Vice President Kamala Harris, who's also the president of the Senate, presided over the joint session, certifying her defeat to Trump. Trump will officially be inaugurated and take office on Monday, January 20th. There were no challenges or disruptions this year.
It's an event that didn't receive as much attention until 2021. A deadly riot at the Capitol paused the certification of President Joe Biden's win. Hours before, Trump had addressed his supporters in Washington and repeated falsehoods about the 2020 election. Over 140 officers were injured during that riot, and the U.S. Attorney in D.C. has charged more than 1,500 people with crimes. 2/3 have pleaded guilty. Additional security measures are in place this year.
Meanwhile, President-elect Trump is scheduled to be sentenced in his New York hush money case on Friday. His lawyers are trying to stop it. They're asking the judge to halt sentencing while they appeal to a state appellate court. The judge has signaled that Trump won't receive jail time. Sentencing is 10 days before Trump is sworn into office. Trump was found guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to buy adult film actor Stormy Daniels' silence during the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump says he did nothing wrong.
Hundreds of injuries reported during these snow emergencies, from falls to fractures, even heart attacks.
So do you risk getting injured while shoveling or cleaning your sidewalk, or do you risk being injured? Reporter Cassie Arsenault is here to answer that million-dollar question. To shovel or not to shovel, Cassie?
Yeah, and both have risks, especially depending on how old you are. Now, the American College of Emergency Physicians monitors injuries like today. They report almost 1,600 snow injuries per year. So I talked to a doctor to find out what's the better risk to take. Shovel the walkway, which can cause injury, even heart attack, like we just heard, because of how heavy and stressful shoveling can be, even if you're in shape, or risk walking through an icy or snowy area that wasn't cleared out. Well, the short answer is shovel that walkway. More injuries come from people not being able to see where they're stepping because of too much snow or slip from ice. Now, if you're gonna shovel, you just have to use common sense here. Know where you're stepping, have a plan, and honestly expect to fall or slip and think, is there something nearby you can grab, and you need to call someone for help. Also, take breaks, right? This isn't a race. Most of you got to stay home today. You have nothing else to do, so shovel in increments. Go inside, get warm, do the rest later.
Going out in the snow can not only result in an orthopedic injury, but also a heart injury. It's a lot more stressful on your heart than you think. When there's ice or there's potential for slipping, unfortunate fractures, especially hip fractures or other fractures, very much come to mind.
So even if you're someone who thinks you're very in shape, you work out every single day, moving this kind of snow is more of a workout than you would even think. And doing it in the cold makes it more taxing. So yes, shovel that walkway, but take your time. Back to you guys.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gumbs' hour-by-hour forecast.
One good thing about being here 36 hours straight, I didn't have to shovel. So that's, that's a good thing. Hopefully it's done by the time I get home. Take a look at the snowfall accumulations. We just got this one in from Aurora, Indiana. 11.4 inches of snow there at Aurora, 11 in Cleves, just over 10 at the International Airport. That was a report that came in at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We've likely added a little more since then. Covedale saw over 10 inches. Over 10 inches. They were actually at 10 inches in Mason. College Corner, 9.5. Same in Montgomery, Loveland, West Union, and even Hillsborough around 9 inches at last check. And we'll get the final totals as the day goes on. There's still a little bit of snow falling in our eastern counties. How does this rank as far as our biggest two-day snowfalls in Cincinnati history? Well, the biggest was 18.3 inches, February 4th and 5th of 1998. January 6th and 7th of 1996, 14.4 inches. Spent that one at my grandmother's apartment in Withensville, snowed in and going stir crazy. So I remember that very distinctively. Just shy of a foot, February 3rd and 4th, 1998. January 7th and 8th, 96, we had 11.6. And December 8th and 9th, 1917, 11.5 inches over a two-day stretch. So you get down the list here, the blizzard of 78 actually 6th on the list of the most snow over 2 days. There was already snow on the ground, though, for that one. And then, of course, the massive winds brought the huge drifts. But last on the list here, 9th place, 10.7 inches, March 7th and 8th of 2008. So this is the biggest two-day snow that we have seen at least since 2008. A lot of people say, hey, what about the one around Christmas back in 2004? Well, that one was only officially just over 9 inches in Cincinnati, but other spots saw well over a foot with that one. Take a look at the snow moving out right now. Still some flakes flying out in our eastern counties. Hillsborough, New Vienna seeing some flakes. Last of those flakes clearing the 275 loop. And you can see a few snowflakes still flying from West Union to Maysville. Now, you might see some flurries linger through the evening, but the accumulating snow's done. Even some breaks in the clouds at times overnight. If we get enough breaks in the cloud cover, then temperatures will easily fall into the single digits with this snowpack on the ground. There's the view from Covington. Cloudy skies right now, some flurries, 26 degrees, and the winds biting north-northwest at 20. That gives us a wind chill of just 12 degrees, and it feels as cold as 14 in Wilmington, 13 in Middletown now, 19 out at West Union, 17 Falmouth, and a wind chill of 16 in Versailles. Look at where these wind chills go in the morning. At least as low as the single digits, if not below zero, and they stay in the teens during the day tomorrow. So we're talking about some serious cold here. Winds gusting to 35 at the airport, 29 in Wilmington. That's blowing the snow around, and that's going to mean with things getting so cold tonight that roads are going to continue to be bad. Same deal into the morning. I'm hoping for improvement, though, as we move through tomorrow afternoon with some snow flurries possible. The winter storm warning for most of us, except Fayette and Union, scheduled to expire at midnight. Take a look at Futurecast tomorrow. There's some of those flurries tomorrow afternoon into the 20s during the afternoon. Wind chills, they stay in the teens, but watch out on the morning drive. It will still be slick and treacherous in a lot of locations tomorrow morning. Hoping for some peaks of sun, But here comes another system late Friday into Saturday. That pushes more snow back into the area, and there could be some accumulations with that one too, although it does not look nearly as massive as the one we've just seen. So 25 tomorrow, watch for the slick spots early on, 24 Wednesday, 19 Thursday, 18 Friday, with single-digit lows possible. And then you'll see some snow developing there later Friday into Friday night, moving out on Saturday. After that, things look pretty quiet into Sunday and Monday of next week. But yeah, we've got another snowmaker on the horizon. Make sure you track the latest with our free Weather Authority app. Adam.
John, thank you. Snow, ice, frigid temperatures, and blizzard conditions have wreaked havoc on the roads all across the Midwest as millions try to make their way home at the end of that long New Year's holiday weekend. In Missouri, icy roads forced stranded drivers to abandon their cars and trucks. The treacherous conditions sent big rigs jackknifing. A Kentucky state trooper was hurt after someone slammed into his patrol car during the storm. Now, from the air, it was a blanket of white approaching Louisville, Kentucky, and on the ground, flights were largely halted. The storm canceled more than 1,800 flights, mostly to and from the Midwest, leaving people stranded.
I think I'd be pretty upset because I'm trying to get home. We got pets at home, so we got to go check on them. But, I mean, delays suck no matter what.
A lot of this comes as the TSA has heightened airport security following the recent deadly incidents in New Orleans and Las Vegas and ahead of the inauguration. Certain flights, especially those headed to D.C., may see additional screening at the gate and have armed air marshals on board.
If you're wondering what it looks like from the inside of a snowplow, take a look. The Kentucky Department of Transportation posted this video of Kenton County maintenance crew member Sarika Paris. It's a small snippet of her 12-hour shift. Paris is in charge of clearing off Hans Pike, Wayman Branch Road, Taylor Mill Road, and a small portion of KY 17. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet added, quote, "Please give our crews plenty of space to work. She, along with all of our crew members, want to go home safe at the end of their shift."
And that's what we're keeping an eye on pretty much all afternoon here. There's crews out there, the road conditions for you. Snow is starting to wind down, fortunately, but we're not out of the woods just yet.
We're giving you a live look in the northern part of the tri-state. This is I-275 over I-71. This is the best I've seen the highway all day long. A lot of pavement, and crews are really doing a great job of keeping the highways at this point looking pretty good. We have live reports from across the area right after the break.
New CBS Thursday, X and O marks the spot for laughs.
Boom! I feel like I'm on your talk show. You're so uncomfortably close.
Join Drew Barrymore and 8 of her funniest friends.
The price was wrong, Drew.
Sometimes the stars help, but not always.
What type of bridge is the Golden Gate?
Is there different bridges?
It kind of looks like a black suit changed its mind.
The new Hollywood Squares premieres CBS Thursday, 8/7 Central, and streaming on Paramount+.
Forever chemicals have been linked to water contamination from firefighter foam. If you were exposed to firefighter foam and diagnosed with cancer or ulcerative colitis, or live near or work near a contaminated site, call Elk & Elk at 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Sky-high medical bills.
We've seen rampant increases. We've seen rampant errors.
Local 12 investigates tonight at 6. Download Local 12's The Weather Authority app. Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Welcome back to our wonderful winter weather coverage this afternoon. The snow is beginning to move out of the area, but driving conditions are still pretty dangerous in a lot of places.
We are on early to bring you special coverage of this winter storm. Chief Meteorologist John Gum has the latest in your no-wait weather. And John, you've been watching this storm system for days, even weeks.
Days, over a week. Yeah, we've been watching this thing. It's finally beginning to move out, guys. Take a look at the latest on radar. Last of the snow's moving east to Cincinnati now, and well, you might see some flurries through the the evening, but nothing else that's going to accumulate. The last little bit that will accumulate is moving out through northern Highland County, moving toward Hillsborough, now up to Greenfield. Last of the snow flurries moving southeast of the 275 loop, but you can see down here around Maysville and West Union and Peebles, we still have a little bit of snow to go, but it's exiting quickly, and this thing is winding down, although the impacts are certainly going to linger. Here we are in Futurecast, last of the flurries pushing east of town. Maybe a few breaks in the clouds continuing at times through the rest of the evening here, but along with that comes some flurries that will streak in here at times from the north. Look at the snowfall accumulations: over 11 in Aurora, 11 at Cleves, over 10 at the International Airport, Covedale, Mason, around 10 inches of snow. College Corner, Montgomery, Loveland, West Union, we saw around 9.5 inches, even up to the Hillsborough area. Some of those measurements are a little old, so we'll get the new ones as the night goes on, because a lot of those spots could have added a little bit since we got those numbers. Cloudy right now on our Covington cam. The temperature is at 26. Feels like 12 though, and the winds are howling north at 22. That is creating blowing snow, drifting snow, and that will be something we contend with through the evening. There are the wind chills as low as 12 at the airport, 13 in Middletown, and the gusts 28 at the airport, 29 in Wilmington, 19 Greenfield. So that's definitely blowing that snow around out there tonight. We'll slowly fall through the 20s tonight with clouds, maybe again a few breaks later on this evening and a couple of flurries mixed in, but those wind chills, they're going to be in the teens. They may dip as low as the single digits and even below zero the next couple of mornings. Road conditions still not good tonight as the snow ends and the flurries linger and the winds kick that snow up, and even tomorrow morning it is going to be a rough go in a lot of communities, but some improvement tomorrow afternoon as we see some peaks of sun. We're talking about that and the next system on the horizon that could bring us more snow coming up in my Weather Authority forecast.
John, thank you. In Hamilton County, Sheriff McGuffey declared the level 2 snow advisory. That was yesterday. It's still in effect right now, and our crews are out and about checking out the roadways, giving you a look so you don't have to leave your home if you don't want to.
Yeah, Morella Porter is out along Harrison Avenue near Westwood and Cheviot and joins us live. How are conditions where you are, Morella?
Hi, Adam and Megan. Yeah, we are on Harrison Avenue. Obviously, this is a really busy road typically out here. Stepping out of the way, we're looking further down into Cheviot right now. The roads on that side where the kind of border starts, there's been a drastic difference in how that has looked versus the city side. Right now, it looks like crews are doing a great job, though, cleaning up. It does look different from what it did just a couple of hours ago, even with the snow letting up now. The city tells me that, obviously they only have 1 square mile of city to work with, so it's a lot easier for them than it is in Cincinnati to get all of these roads cleared. They have 5 guys out who are doing it, and they're kind of playing it by ear at this point to see how their response is going to look overnight. Now, take a look at all of the snow that has kind of piled up, everything that they've cleaned up here from the street. We're going to swivel the camera around and take a look at the city intersection. So that's Boudinot that you're looking at over there, and you can kind of, maybe it's not as drastic on TV, but there is a difference. The city, it has 3,100 miles to cover, square miles to cover when they're cleaning up the roads here, so they have a lot more work cut out for them here. What they're focused on right now are the main roads, and they tell me that, after 24 hours from that last snowfall, their goal is to have the roads passable, but all of this falling snow has been a challenge. Take a listen.
We've tried to, clear the main thoroughfares, hospital routes. We've tried to touch some of the residentials, but of course, we keep having to reset our efforts. Obviously, with the snow continuing to fall, that means that the whatever we have plowed has covered back up, so it's time to reset again and start all over.
Yeah, so obviously with the snow coming to an end here soon, that will help the crews who are going to be back out on the roads clearing all of this up. For now, live in Westwood, I'm Morella Porter.
Morella, thank you. And, I think one thing that we're seeing here is that this was a snow day for a lot of people, so a lot of people are staying home. Nobody's out doing any recreational driving. That's why we're not seeing a lot of pileups and crashes and stuff out there, because there just aren't the drivers out on the road, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of social media posts of people out sledding, and you know what? take advantage.
Yes,
enjoy the
it.
snow.
Yes. All right, well, the northern part of our viewing area is also digging out of this winter blast.
David Winter is there after spending the day in Warren and Butler counties. And David, how are the roads?
Not bad in some places, in other places, not good. We're on I-75 right now. This is a northbound I-75 at Union Center Road in Westchester. And as you can see, the plows have done a great job here. As a matter of fact, they've done a great job all day. Traffic moving along about 55 to 65 miles per hour as if there had never been any snow. Not so much on the other side of the northern tier. I-71 has really been a mess today. Take a look. There was a jackknife, or a spun out semi, I should say. Luckily, he didn't have a trailer on the back of his truck. But the plows have been doing their best. Snow, though, until the mid-afternoon. We spoke to a plow driver who clears a lot for businesses. He was supposed to start at 3:30 this morning, but he got held up a little when he helped out a couple of motorists.
I've seen a lot of people stranded on the side of the road.
You helping out?
I actually did this morning on 75 right at Cincinnati. There was 2 cars stuck right that it wasn't plowed yet, and 2 cars were stuck there, and I dropped the plow and got it moving. They were fine.
You're supposed to be doing parking lots.
Well, you can't help everybody, but it's nice to help at least one of them or two.
You know, that plow driver says that he's doing his best and doing a pretty good job, it sounds like. He says that he prioritizes the businesses that are open. Not many businesses, it seems, are open, not around here on Union Center Road. Chevy's Tex-Mex is closed right now, and just over there, that is the Top Golf. They are closed as well. I called up, and they said that they don't know when they're going to open, but let's face it, not a lot of employees were able to make it in this morning, and there are not a lot of customers that want to leave the comfort of their warm homes. But that is, unless they want to come out and enjoy some of this snow. The wind has died down a little bit here, so weather not so bad in Butler County. This is David Winter from Butler County. Back to you in the studio.
David, thank you. All right, folks, you are in for a real treat. You see, in situations like this, there's only so much the Weather Authority can do for you. So we're calling in the big guns. Local 12's chief investigative reporter Dwayne Pullman is digging in, or digging out, of this curious case of cold. He's in Fort Wright on Highland Pike near Kentucky 17 with a look at how things are there. How's that for an intro, Dwayne?
That is amazing. Thank you. It's just literally driving around. So this is kind of a day off, but it has been treacherous. I mean, it's been bad out here. This is 17 behind me. You can see this is a major thoroughfare, Covington to Independence. That's the growth area of northern Kentucky. That's a lot of people trying to make their way up that hill. Let me come over here. This is Highland Pike. Highland Pike, another big hill. You know it as Kyle's Lane coming off of the cut in the hill. That's another key way to get here. And I can tell you both have been a mess. Now, yesterday my son Tyler was driving in this mess for no apparent reason. And he was on Highland Pike coming down that hill. And it indeed was a mess. And I got it on dash cam from him. Take a look at this video. Once you take a look at this, Highland Pike, cars could not make it up the hill. They were simply stopped in their tracks. That was happening all over the place. Many simply choosing to turn around and go back down the hill. Now, a few hours ago, I went down that same section, took a look at it. It was better, but only slightly better. It was still very treacherous. I had to go about 20 miles an hour, and I can tell you, I was spinning out in a couple of sections. Also, a few hours ago, making my way here, I was in on 17, and 17 was also treacherous down to one lane. There are major amounts of snowplows out right now. Let me tell you, when we got out here a couple of hours ago, you could not see the roadway here. You can see that now, and this roadway is getting more and more clear, all the roadways around here, and you can chalk that up to 2 reasons. The plows are, of course, out in force, but the snow has settled down. So that is good news, but again, we're being told, stay home, If you don't have to be out here, stay home. It will get cleared, but they'll give you a better idea of that as you pay attention. But we are expecting it to be a rough battle as the temperatures get colder. That's what we got out here. Adam, Megan, that's what's going on in northern Kentucky.
Dwayne, thank you. And I also want to point out he volunteered.
Yes, he did. Dwayne, when the day needs saved,
he called in.
Dwayne saves the day.
I want to be live in the snow. So thank you, Dwayne, for that. Katie Amrine is in our Local 12 live drive this afternoon. Katie, I know you've been all over the tri-state. Where are you at right now? And are you seeing the roadways improve as well?
Yeah, Megan, I'm out here in Milford and I'm on a side street right now, but when I came from 275, the roads were basically totally clear. It was looking a lot better conditions. I'm gonna flip our camera around here, but you can take a look. I'm on this side street on Edgecombe Drive in Milford. This one still has a little bit of plow work left to be done, so these side streets can be a little dangerous. Some have been good as we've gone through Blue Ash, but now we're here and this one's a little rocky, but the main thoroughfares are really clear at this point. I've seen a lot of plow drivers. You can see over here we have a lot of people shoveling their driveways. It's finally getting to that point now because the snow has kind of stopped. You know, people can really shovel and not have any more accumulation going on right now. There has been some slipping and sliding I have seen throughout the day. You know, I had a tough time getting into the station this morning from my home in Boone County. I had to have somebody come pick me up because I couldn't get my car out of our parking lot. And I think things have definitely seemed to change. And we're going to be going down sort of towards northern Kentucky as we go through these next couple of shows. So we're going to turn over here. So we are now on the, I think, is this this main, excuse me, this is State Route 28. So you can see here that it's mostly all cleared out at this point. It's really starting to look a lot better. But of course, we'll keep you updated conditions throughout the evening. But for now, live in Milford, Katie Amrine, Local 12 News.
And Katie, thank you. And as she said, we're going to have a live look at conditions throughout the tri-state straight ahead here in the last of our half hour. And of course, we'll see you first at 4.
All right, we want to see what's going on in your neighborhood. Take a look at this. We got some great pictures. Taryn snapped this photo of some untouched snow at a barn in Georgetown. Picturesque, looks like a postcard right there. And then take a look at this. Sherry had a yard full of friends stop by her house. You see the deer here. She took that picture from her patio door in Green Township. And then Amara decided to make a miniature snowman. Beautiful. Love the craftsmanship there. Big old Atlas here is up for a day in the snow. He's also styling in his big blue sweater. Looking good, Atlas. And then across the river, Miles took this artsy photo on the levee in Newport. That's the Newport on the Levee Christmas tree you see right there. And then Shelby got the whole crew out to play in the snow. They are bundled, but they look like they're having this. Sledding down the middle of Lloyd Avenue in Erlanger. Their sled took them down to the intersection before it lost gas. Good news. Finally, 4-year-old Clay decided that the only way to get around was on his backhoe. Thanks to Ryan for sending this video, and thanks to Clay for getting out there and doing the dirty work.
I know. Clay's probably needed it at some of his neighbors' houses as well.
Probably.
To help with the driveway.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, snow totals are in the double digits across the tri-state. It's just a mess out there, but as we've shown you, it's starting to clear up a little bit. Don't go out unless you don't have to. That's the bottom line right now.
We're going to show you a live look at another roadway. This is I-75 near 3rd Street in downtown Cincinnati. The roadway is looking pretty good. The best it's been all day. You can see a lot of highway. Not that much snow covered, and traffic is moving. We will have your complete Weather Authority forecast coming up in just a few minutes. You're watching Local 12 News.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on getting you the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. But don't worry, we've got a lot more than that going for us. Woo! Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want with space-age metal housing, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have flip phones like the Iris Flip. If you're someone that doesn't need all that mumbo-jumbo and just wants something simple. And now, we even have watches.
We do.
No matter what device you choose, you'll be happy to know that if your data needs change,
no problem.
With our SmartFlex feature, you don't have to sweat it. Like say you're on a road trip out west and end up using a bunch of data. We can simply flex you up to the next data tier for as little as $5. Then, when you get home, you can flex right back down with no penalty. So you only pay for what you actually need.
With Consumer Cellular, you get the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost.
I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Will our award-winning customer service help me switch over or add a line for $15 to make my own family plan?
Of course they will.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
You see that tower out there? It's a beauty. And there are thousands more like it, working hard for me and you, supplying 5G coverage to this beautiful nation of ours. We know how important coverage is. That's why we offer a risk-free guarantee. If you're not satisfied within 30 days of activation, you can pay nothing. Oh, look.
And for a limited time, new customers get their second month free. Call 800-379-3612. Or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
Fall in love with your home comfort this season and save money too. A $69 heating system tune-up from Hauser Heating and Air is the best way to ensure your HVAC system is operating at top efficiency. Boost your comfort and help prevent expensive breakdowns by calling the experts at Hauser today for your $69 heating system tune-up. Trust the pros at Hauser Heating and Air to keep your family comfortable all year long. Call 513-777-7979 to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Optiva Health, orthopedic and injury specialists. We offer same-day orthopedic care, the only facility in the area with this service. All your needs in one place: MRI, X-ray, procedures, medical treatment, and physical therapy. Affordable care with self-pay MRI for just $350. Available in person and via telehealth, including mental health services and concussion care. And with free 24/7 orthopedic triage through the HURT app, you're always covered. Call today, 859-592-1008.
Authorities investigating the deadly terror attack in New Orleans released new information about the attacker.
They say the suspect traveled to that city at least twice before he rammed a pickup truck into a crowd of people. The FBI released video over the weekend showing Shamsuddin Jabbar riding a bicycle through the French Quarter last October, 2 months before his deadly terror attack in the same area. He recorded the ride on his Meta glasses with cameras built in. Investigators say he wore those the day of the massacre as well. Law enforcement added he went to the city again in November. Additionally, the FBI says it's looking into trips the ISIS-inspired attacker made to Cairo, Egypt, and Ontario, Canada during the summer of 2023.
Our agents are getting answers as to where he went, who he met with, and how those trips may or may not tie into his actions here in our city in New Orleans.
The Bureau also showed these surveillance videos recorded less than 2 hours before the rampage, showing Jabbar placing a cooler with an IED on Bourbon Street. That cooler was later moved to another location by uninvolved bystanders. Another video shows him walking to his truck where he picked up a second cooler filled with explosives and left it just a block away from where he put the first. Neither device detonated. On Saturday evening, a vigil was held for the 14 people who were killed. The president and first lady are expected to visit New Orleans today to meet with family members and talk with city officials. Some of the first small Mardi Gras parades are starting today with increased security.
Americans are celebrating the life and legacy of former President Jimmy Carter this week. Well-wishers are filing past his casket at the Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta for one final day before his remains are taken to Washington tomorrow morning. Outside the center, people of all ages are leaving flowers and messages in tribute to the nation's 39th president.
It's a celebration. I know many people feel very somber, but I feel mostly celebratory for having known, I don't mean I know him, but of knowing this man and his good works, and they're very inspiring.
He inspired lots of people to do great things.
President Carter will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda tomorrow and Wednesday. On Thursday, all 5 living U.S. presidents are expected to attend his state funeral at the National Cathedral. President Carter will then have one final homecoming. He'll be buried on the family property in Plains next to his wife of 77 years, Rosalind Carter.
The winter storm hitting a lot of places across the U.S. and we want to give you a look at its impact in other parts of the country. This is video from Kansas City, Missouri, where conditions are about a day ahead of us. People woke up to several inches of snow yesterday, with more falling throughout the day. Roads and highways remain treacherous, and snow and underlying ice is on them. Kansas City has another chance of snow later on this week. In Baltimore, Maryland, the governor and mayor both declared a state of emergency for the winter storm. 10 to 12 inches of snow are possible there. Ice and freezing temperatures are also expected to cause hazardous road conditions and impact public transportation. Several schools in Maryland are closed today, along with some courts and businesses.
It's also pretty bad in Chicago. Take a look. This is video from O'Hare International Airport, where canceled or delayed flights are frustrating travelers who are trying to end their busy holiday travel season. Several hundred flights across the country are canceled, and thousands more are now delayed. Meanwhile, sheriff's deputies are patrolling the snow-packed roads in and around the Terre Haute, Indiana area. Fortunately, they say they haven't had to work as many wrecks as they were expecting. Again, a lot of people just staying off the roads. Conditions there are still very poor, but road crews have been working hard to clear those areas. Well, we had a lot of snow come down. We've been telling you all day. And with that comes some worries for the homeowners. Besides shoveling and clearing the driveway and walkway, what about your roof?
Consumer reporter Cassie Arsenault is here to tell us when you should be worried and how to take action. Cassie?
Like Adam said, we got a lot of snow. We've been telling you that all day, no doubt. But from a load-bearing perspective, your roof is going to be just fine. An average roof can hold 40 to 45 inches of fresh light snow and 20 inches of really dense snow. So in other words, you would need to go over 20 pounds per square foot for your roof to collapse or to have major damage. So we're in the clear there. But what you do need to watch out for is ice damming. Now, houses most vulnerable to this are typically older homes that don't have a well-insulated attic. Ice damming is when you get a run of ice along the edge of the roof where it comes to where the gutter meets.
What ends up happening is the melting snow caused by heat dissipating from your home will cause the temperature of the roof to be hotter than the temperature outside. And what happens is that water that's trying to run off ends up getting stuck right along that ice line and causing interior moisture intrusion.
So what can you do right now? Well, not much because of all the snow and how cold it is, but you can look at the corners of your exterior walls, especially near those gutters, and see if you have any moisture or anything like that. However, if you have an ice water shield, it's an impermeable barrier that goes along the gutter line on the roof, which most homes have because a lot of cities and towns now require it in their building codes. You should be fine. Again, it's those older homes that should stay on alert. Back to you, Megan.
Cassie, thank you. Freezing temperatures can make the ice dam issue worse. Pay extra attention to this in the coming days.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gumbs' hour-by-hour forecast.
Since I last joined you, one of the big updates was they have canceled the winter storm warning for a good chunk of the tri-state. It's still up for our eastern counties. What they're doing is, as the snow moves out, they're dropping the winter storm warning. Now, I kind of disagree with that because the impacts from this are going to continue. I would like to have seen them just keep it up through the evening because we're going to have no more snow falling, at least nothing that's going to accumulate, but the winds are going to continue to blow that snow around through the evening. So blowing snow, drifting snow will still impact the road conditions. And I'll tell you, that's going to continue into tomorrow morning. So I still have the red light up tomorrow morning, some flurries here and there, nothing that'll stick. But the winds still stay up, and that creates some blowing and drifting snow, especially out in rural areas, in open areas that don't have windbreaks or trees that can kind of break up that wind, or buildings that can break up that wind. So it's the rural areas that will continue to have issues even through tomorrow. Some improvement we're hoping for tomorrow, but it's going to be very cold. We're not going to make it out of the 20s tomorrow. Wind chills won't get out of the teens. Speaking of those winds, they're blowing at 28 miles an hour now over at the airport, 29 up at Wilmington, 21 Greenfield, a gust of 20 in Middletown, 15 there at Batesville, and 19 in Laurel, Indiana, even 20 at the Big Oaks Wildlife Refuge. So the winds are still blowing all this snow around. There's our Nippert Stadium cam. Nippert Stadium covered in a blanket of snow. 26 over at the airport. Hamilton, 28, 28 Lunkin, 27 Wilmington, and 25 degrees in Batesville. You add the wind into the mix, and it feels more like the teens. with the airport reporting a wind chill of 12 now. And that's the way it's going to be through the evening. Temperatures in the 20s, wind chills in the teens, clouds linger. You may see some flurries around, and then a few breaks in the clouds possible later tonight. If we manage to get any breaks, that's going to mean a really cold start tomorrow, maybe single digits. There goes the last of the snow. Still some flakes flying in Highland County. We've lost the snow around the 275 loop, at least the accumulating snow, and you can see some flakes flying from Georgetown south of Falmouth now, and again south of Hillsborough, still some snowflakes flying, but they move out. There's some of those breaks I talked about, but again, a few flurries may also fly at times overnight. Maybe a little break in the clouds tomorrow morning. I'll tell you, if we take away this blanket of clouds, expect temperatures to dip into the single digits tomorrow morning. Wind chills, they could go down around 0, if not below 0 for your Tuesday morning. So there's the wind chills in the morning. A few degrees either side of 0 as we start the day Tuesday, and they won't make it out of the teens tomorrow. We do it again Wednesday morning. Wind chills could go sub-0 in some locations Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon, again, those wind chills don't get out of the teens, so a lot of cold coming behind the snow. Tomorrow morning, I have the red light up. If we get a little clearing, we easily dip into the single digits in the morning, and then we rebound into the mid-20s in the afternoon. More clouds than sunshine tomorrow. Again, a few stray flurries are possible. We look ahead to Friday night and Saturday for our next weather maker, with light snow developing late Friday into Friday night. Some accumulations are likely, but it's not going to be nearly as much as the storm we just saw. A smaller one. It will move out on Saturday, but travel looks to be impacted late Friday into Saturday from this next system. Here's how the modeling sees it. Quiet Friday morning, but late afternoon and evening, here comes some snow picking up Friday night. Could see some burst of moderate snow, and then some lingering snow showers there into Saturday, especially for the early part of the day with some additional accumulation. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that one. 25 tomorrow. Watch for slick spots in the morning. 24 Wednesday. Single digit lows, even lows near 0 are possible the next few nights. We may not get out of the teens for highs Thursday and Friday with that snow late Friday, ending Saturday, and then quiet into the early part of next week with temperatures in the low 30s. I know that you have plans this weekend. You're going to keep up with that next weather maker. Do it with our free Weather Authority app. Megan?
John, thanks. Good news. The first winter storm, as John's been talking about, of 2025, slowly coming to an end.
Yeah, but we still have crews out all across the tri-state to bring you the latest road conditions. All of it is coming up ahead. First at 4.
Morning, Dr. Watson.
We need someone with your expertise.
Everyone who comes into this clinic is a puzzle. Remember, we're doctors and we're detectives. Doctors, detectives.
I kind of love it, if I'm being honest.
Everyone's faces and bodies are clues. Let's go solve the mystery.
Hey homeowners, are you tired of your outdated bathroom? Well, you're in luck. Bathmasters is now in Cincinnati. Whether you're looking for a modern update or a complete overhaul, we've got you covered. To celebrate Bathmasters being in Cincinnati, you can get up to $2,000 off your new bathroom remodeling project. Our expert team will help transport your space into the bathroom of your dreams. Don't wait. Visit our new Cincinnati showroom or call today, 513-603-3711.
Real-time reporting on every platform. Local 12, your first choice for news.
Healthy You, sponsored by Ortho Cincy.
When you go out in the weather, remember to use extra caution with every step. Medical reporter Liz Bonas shares some of the most common injuries reported when it gets slippery outside.
Hey there, everybody. This time of year when the weather gets slick, it's often the very thing that leads to slips and falls. Quite often when we have layers underfoot, the number of especially broken wrists and ankles, as well as ankle sprains and strains, goes up. This according to foot and ankle specialist Dr. John Linz.
The ankle is probably one of the most commonly injured joints in the body. And everybody knows ankle sprain. Everybody's probably had an ankle sprain at some point in time. Fortunately, most of those are minor and can be treated non-operatively. There are very few that need to be treated operatively.
That said, if you have an injury, best not to try and evaluate it yourself. Ortho Cincy, now one of several places offering urgent care specific to orthopedic injuries. Now, these are walk-in places. You do not need an appointment, but they can often get you in quickly. You'll get a proper diagnosis, initial treatment, and you won't spend hours waiting in a local emergency room. For the hours and locations for the Ortho Cincy urgent care team, click Inside Healthy You at what'shappeninginhealth.com.
We're really racing against time because it is going to get really cold.
The snowflakes started flying yesterday afternoon, and they are just now winding down.
It puts a lot of strain on the system. It clogs up the arteries. Then you have people taking the other side streets.
Local 12 News has team coverage for you of the impact of this major winter storm from our reporters spread out all across the tri-state.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Taking a live look outside, the snow finally starting to taper off around the area after a major winter storm that's impacted much of the eastern U.S. We have just an 8, and whether it's work or school, there's only a handful of places around town that are not closed today. Good afternoon, I'm Megan Mongello. Thanks for joining us here first at 4 on this very snowy Monday. Hopefully you're inside, staying warm, maybe a cup of hot chocolate. Parts of the tri-state remain under a winter storm warning through midnight tonight. My co-anchor Adam Clements is with Chief Meteorologist John Gum, breaking it all down for us.
You tired yet?
I told you might have to hold me up right now. I'm a little shaky, to say the least.
But you know what? We're at the tail end of things.
We are.
We're starting to see the crews out there making a little bit of a dent in, the progress on the roads. When are we going to start to see this thing just finally dissipate?
Well, it's moving out right now. The last of the flakes exiting our eastern counties. So the accumulating snow is done with. The problem, we got the winds are still blowing.
Yeah.
So you get out to the outlying areas where we don't have windbreaks. We don't have buildings to block the wind. You're getting blowing and drifting snow.
And that's where we run into the risk of power outages in the coming days.
Yeah, and with the heavy wind out there, we can't rule out like a branch will fall on a line of create. It's not going to be widespread. It's going to be very scattered in nature if we do see them. Take a look at the totals that continue to come in. We've seen spots with 11 inches, over 11 inches in Aurora, Cleves with 11 on the dot, over 10 at the International Airport, Covedale, Mason with 10. Got some new totals in here the last half hour. Kenton Vale there in Kenton County, 10 inches. South Lebanon also with 10 inches, 9.5 at last check at College Corner, Montgomery, and around 9 at West Union. But those are older observations, so we're likely closer to 10 in those areas too. There's the last of the snow exiting stage right, and you can see some flakes still flying in eastern Highland County. They kind of tail down through Brown and Adams County has left the building, and we'll see just some lingering flurries overnight. Gusty winds there are going to continue. Maybe a few breaks in the clouds later this evening with some stray flurries out there. There's our Covington cam. Cloudy skies right now. Looking back into downtown, our current temperature 26. The wind sustained at 22. The gusts have been higher, though, and you can see those wind chills as low as 12 at the airport, 15 there at Middletown, and we're gusting to 33 at the airport, 30 in Wilmington now. So you can see why I still have concerns about blowing and drifting snow through the evening. That's in the forecast. Temperatures in the 20s in the forecast, wind chills in the teens, maybe a little bit of clearing later on tonight. Coming up in weather, we're tracking another snowmaker as we get toward the weekend, guys. I'll have more on that in a few minutes.
All right, John, thank you. Cincinnati Public Schools have already canceled for Tuesday. You're going to start to see some other scrollings running across the bottom of your screen there.
That is 17 to 18 straight days the kids have been off school.
Yeah, it's wild.
Winter break.
Yeah, our kids are off tomorrow as well already. Milford. Yeah.
All right. Well, the winter storm is clogging roads and highways across the tri-state. We have a team of reporters covering the impact. We're going to start with James Pilcher near the top.
So much the roads, although I will say that things have improved here on Kyles Lane with the plows coming through occasionally. The interstates behind me are passable, but local roads are still trouble for many drivers, such as Dixie Highway just above, just ahead of us. We saw several people getting stuck or spinning out here on the intersection of Kyles Lane and Dixie Highway. That included a tank bus earlier, while others didn't even get into a car and walked to get some groceries. Road crews throughout the region are focusing on main roads and highways. Here in Fort Wright, there is a snow emergency, so you might have had your car towed if you parked it on the street. Now, we spoke to Megan Scott of Park Hills, who was filling up her tank to make the drive to Burlington to see her sons, but wasn't sure if she was going to make it.
I feel you, the regular roads are not cleared. I'm not sure how the highway is, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make my way out to Burlington so far. It was a struggle to get out of my parking lot this afternoon. So, yeah, it's dreadful out here. And there's someone stuck right there. We had several people towed out of our parking lot this morning, so it's just been absolutely dreadful.
Now, I will say that snow removal in this area was slowed down by the closure of the northbound lanes in the Cut in the Hill by a jackknife trailer early this morning. That shutdown lasted several hours, and the mayor here says that to be patient with the road crews as they work their way back into subdivisions. But those crews got a little bit of a break this afternoon with the snow slowing, the temperature rising a bit, and even the sun peeking out for a second. We also saw several snowplows cross right in front of us over the last hour. Now, coming up at 5, I'll have what those overseeing clearing the roads in Boone County have to say about the situation there. Now, here's my teammate Chelsea Sick with how things are on the east side of Cincinnati. Chelsea?
Well, hey, James, hope you're staying warm out there. We are in Columbia, Tusculum right now at US 50 and Stanley Avenue. We've got 3 major things happening here in Columbia, Tusculum right now. First, the postal worker who was stuck up here on Stanley Avenue, he's been towed away. That problem is solved. You can see it is still pretty snow covered here on the side roads in this area. But 2, we can actually see US 50. This is a big change from when we were out here earlier at noon today. This was completely snow covered really all throughout the afternoon as that snow just kept coming down. But number 3, it stopped snowing. Finally, I live here near Columbia, Tusculum, and it has been snowing here since 10 o'clock yesterday morning. So we're happy to see that kind of go away at this point. Hopefully it gives the plow crews an opportunity to get ahead on these roads. We do want to show you some video, though, because what we're seeing here now is not what we have been seeing here throughout the afternoon. We've seen a lot of cars of all types, trucks, smaller cars, really having trouble on the side roads here in Columbia, Tusculum, and even here on 50. I was talking to Assistant Fire Chief Matt Flagler, who says the crews here in Cincinnati, they're working in 12-hour shifts. They have more than 100 crews that are trying to plow these roads, but they're just having a hard time as that snow continued to come down. We spoke with some people who live here in this area who are just trying to enjoy the snow day.
Yeah, both of us are off work today, so we're just taking the time. We're going to go to Speedway. We saw that it was open, and just hiking up and down, enjoying the snow, making a snowman, enjoying our times.
The Assistant Fire Chief says, of course, their main message today is what you all have been hearing all day long. If you can stay home, just do so. And it looks like a lot of people have. At this point in the afternoon, we usually start to see a backup here on 50, especially heading eastbound as people try to get home from work from downtown. We're just not seeing that. Traffic has picked up a little bit, but that's only 3 or 4 cars every minute or so. So really, a lot of people have heeded that warning as schools close tonight and tomorrow as well. I'm sure we'll start to see fewer and fewer people out on these roadways tomorrow as well. So for now, back to you all in the studio.
I barely made it into work this morning, and that's the way that I'm going to take home. So
looks good.
It's good. Thank you for that update, Chelsea. That's a positive update for me. I'm going to make it in one piece.
And
hopefully.
that's the goal, to give crews space to clean up the roadways, and they are doing it. Yep. Passable, not perfect. That is the motto of the Ohio Department of Transportation. They say that's their goal through tomorrow.
Yeah, Katie Amrine is checking the I-275 loop for us this afternoon. She started out on the east side of town. Katie, where are you now?
Adam, I am in the Mount Carmel area. We've been going down 275, but then as we've been going down, we wanted to show you guys some side streets. So we're getting off the exits, picking a neighborhood, and so we're in Mount Carmel right now. I'm going to flip over our camera. Right now we are on Beechwood Road. So this one is getting pretty cleared out. Not the greatest we've seen of the side streets. When we were in Blue Ash area earlier, they had some really clear side streets. It seemed like crews were really on top of it there. There was a salt truck behind us a little earlier that we needed to kind of move out of the way. So we were able to let them do their thing. So it really seems like crews are getting on top of it, even with these side streets. The main drags though, the main thoroughfares thoroughfares, they are pretty clear all around the area. We were just in Milford going down 275, and like I said, Mount Carmel area. We are currently on Craig Road. We've seen a lot of people clearing out their driveways as snow has stopped around here. This is probably the perfect time to do that because there shouldn't really be too much more accumulation coming down, as we know. So it has been a lot better since this morning. This morning it was really difficult, even on the main thoroughfares. We were going only like 20 miles an hour max when we were on the main highways. Now it's a little bit more like we're finally up to 50. You know, we're finally getting to a point where things are starting to get normal on those main ways. Still got a ways to go with the side streets, but at least over here in this portion of Ohio, things have been looking a lot better. And coming up later, we're going to keep going down 275, working our way to Florence, and we'll keep you posted on the conditions there. But for now, live in Mount Carmel, Katie M. Ryan, Local 12 News.
Katie, thank you. Mount Carmel represent the rare mention of the small Union Township town in Clermont County. Hey, we want to see how your winter storm pictures are pictures like this one. This is Asher enjoying a little snow, enjoying a taste of the snow. Karen says, I may be 73, but can still make a decent snow angel.
That is beautiful.
How about that? Good job. Thanks, she says, to my 13 grandkids for keeping me young. Amen on that. And then this is Cece and Henry, our cute little producer children. Another day off of school with a little sledding in Anderson Township. Enjoy it. My kids are sledding right now as well.
Mine are too. My husband has the neighbor kids over there as well.
I see that. All the Bengals could do was sit and watch as their slim chances at the playoffs just slipped right through their fingertips.
Now that disappointing leading to a staff shakeup. Details on the coaching changes the team's already made. Straight ahead, first at 4.
Purchase a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from the pros at Hauser Heating and Air, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Call 513-777-7979 to request your free consultation with Hauser today.
Homelessness knows no season, and winter makes life on the streets even harsher. And that's when Shelter House experiences its greatest need to provide warmth and compassion for those facing homelessness. As Hamilton County's largest shelter, Shelter House offers a safe haven year-round, but especially during the coldest months, so no one is left out in the cold. Help turn a cold winter night into a warm, safe place for individuals experiencing homelessness. Shelter House. Give hope, give comfort, give generously.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
Automobile injury cases are the most prevalent cases out there. However, the insurance industry is well equipped to fight those cases. So what we do is maximize that recovery for a client.
3 reasons I chose Kitchen Saver and why you should too. Kitchen Saver has so many styles to choose from. I transformed my outdated brown kitchen into a modern, sleek gray kitchen with less mess and stress than a traditional remodel. The Kitchen Saver installers were very friendly and super efficient. They completed my makeover in less than 5 days, which was really impressive. And lastly, I feel safe knowing I'm covered with their 10-year warranty. I highly suggest checking out Kitchen Saver.
Prepare to be impressed. Kitchen Saver.
Fall in love with your home comfort this season by calling Hauser Heating and Air for a $69 heating system tune-up. We'll make sure your system is working properly, keeping you warm, and saving you money. Call 513-777-7979.
After failing to make the playoffs for the second straight season, the Bengals today making some major shakeups on their coaching staff.
Yanni Tregellis is here now with who's been fired so far and what the team's saying about it. Yanni?
Well, guys, they call it Black Monday for a reason. NFL coaches around the league whose teams underperformed during the season, they wait to learn their fate today. And the Bengals making those decisions, firing most notably defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, who had been with the team since 2019. And Anarumo's time in Cincy, it comes to an end after the Bengals missed the playoffs with the 25th ranked defense in yards and points allowed. He's not the only coach to go today. Offensive line coach Frank Pollock also fired after another season where Joe Burrow was under relentless pressure, sacked 48 times on the year. Then back on the defensive side, linebackers coach James Betcher and defensive line coach Marion Hobby also moving on. Head coach Zach Taylor addressed those firings earlier today.
just as I evaluate everything within the organization, just felt like we needed to make a change there. And it's as simple as that. And we'll start that process immediately of evaluating where we need to go and who we want to bring in to help take us to the next level. But again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what those guys did, and they worked hard every single day, and they're great football coaches, and they'll land on their feet very quickly.
And Anarumo, he received some head coaching consideration after the Bengals Super Bowl appearance back in 21, but after 6 years on the job that included defenses ranked in the bottom half of the league in points allowed for 5 of those 6 years, the Bengals now choosing to move in a new direction. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, cornerstone left tackle Orlando Brown Jr., he called the firing of Frank Pollock a hard one for him, saying he helped make him a leap in his career under Pollock's administration. Adam?
Yanni, thank you. All right, so here's a look at the final 4 teams that are vying to reach Super Bowl 59 on February 9th in New Orleans. The Chiefs and Lions take the top seeds in each conference. The Broncos, the Packers are the final teams to clinch playoff spots. First wild card game kicks off Saturday afternoon right here on Local 12.
Teeth are amazing. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we have new financing options to help you get a new smile today, not someday. Scan the QR code or call to learn more.
Go ahead and smile.
Kick off 2025 with a new bathroom from the experts at West Shore Home. Every day we help hundreds of homeowners replace their outdated bath with something new and modern. And right now we're making it easier than ever with no payments or interest until 2026. With our New Year flash sale, you can get 12 months of no payments and no interest. And for a limited time, you can refresh your bathroom for less with 20% off your project. And we'll take an extra $500 off. Call today and don't miss out on these special savings. You can choose from hundreds of combinations of flooring styles, vanities, shower walls, and accessories. It's all part of a world-class remodeling experience that leaves homeowners raving. Check out the reviews online at westshorebath.com or search West Shore Home to see for yourself. This flash sale is extended this week only with no payments or interest for 12 months. Plus, take 20% off your entire project. And if you call today, you'll save an additional $500 off with flash sale savings. Start planning your bathroom today by visiting westshorebath.com.
Hey homeowner, are you tired of your outdated bathroom? Well, you're in luck. Bathmasters is now in Cincinnati. Our expert team will help transport your space into the bathroom of your dreams. Don't wait. Visit our new Cincinnati showroom or call today, 513-603-3711.
I'm Tom Drexler. We have been rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau for over 30 years in a row. We're experts at plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. We unstop drains for just $99. Schedule at tomdrexler.com.
91 Tom Drexler, that's his number. Yeah.
Believe it or not, the best way to increase the efficiency of most homes is to add insulation. Adding insulation decreases the workload on your heating and cooling system by preventing the heat in your attic from coming into your home, and in the wintertime, the heat in your home from escaping into your attic. Right now, Help is offering 15% off any insulation job. Call or go online to schedule an insulation consultation right now. You'll be glad you did.
Call 333-HE-LP.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, we believe it's time the world sees your smile. Whether it's a single tooth, dentures, or dental implants, we make new smiles affordable for everyone.
Go ahead and smile.
More than 34 million Americans are under the winter storm warnings from the Midwest to the East Coast. Time-lapse video shows the fast falling snow in Louisville. Thousands of flights are delayed or canceled due to the storm's wide reach. And despite snowplows working around the clock, many roads are still treacherous.
I should have done this yesterday. I need food and milk and, staples, so here I am.
It's not all mudslinging in the nation's capital. Today, there's some snow slinging. The Washington, D.C. Snowball Fight Association held its first 2025 event of the season. Dozens of people braved the elements for the yearly snowball fight tradition.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gumbs' hour-by-hour forecast.
And as soon as we get off the air, we're all going outside.
Yes.
We're just going to,
It wasn't great packing snow.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It was drier snow the way it happened.
See it, the fluffing out there.
Yeah, it was all fluffing out. We don't get it like this too often. I mean, these are the ones Your boys are going to remember this. They're gonna be like,
Oh,
this
they've
is
been out
awesome.
all day, and I have to
Yeah.
hand it to my husband. We have 3, and then 5 more kids from the neighborhood came over, so now he's entertaining
The neighbor kids.
A lot of kids.
Yeah, your kids are definitely going to remember this one. I've got such great memories as a kid of these big snows. They don't happen much around.
No,
here.
they don't.
And that's one of the things we look at here. So I want to put in perspective how big this one was compared to other big ones that we have seen. So these are 2-day totals, okay? So I've limited it to 2 days. The biggest snows in Cincinnati history since snowfall records began in the early 1900s. 1998, February 4th and 5th, that was over my birthday, 18.3 inches, okay? Wow. 1996, January 6th and 7th, I was home on college break. It was my grandmother's apartment in Westwood. I got snowed in. I remember it distinctively.
You've been born a weatherman, if you can remember everything.
Well, I don't remember everything, but I remember that because I was with my grandmother and we had nothing to do but watch TV all day, all night for like 2 days
Cool.
straight.
Another episode of MASH.
Yes, Golden Girls. That was her favorite. And then 98, February 3rd and 4th, nearly a foot over those 2 days. January 7th and 8th and 96, over 11. 1917, we had 11 and a half. And you look at these, you say, okay, I kind of remember some of these. Well, we remember number 6. That was the blizzard of 78, over 11 inches.
And I saw you talking to somebody about that it wasn't necessarily the blizzard of 78 because there was already snow that was down.
There was already snow on the ground.
Right.
We added more on top of it, and then the wind created these massive drifts. So that was not the biggest snowstorm in Cincinnati history, but it was the most impactful.
Yes.
And that the horrible weather just lasted. People were out of school for a week.
River froze.
Yeah, it did. And that was horrible. 1910, another big one. In February, another big one. In 1910, December, that was a rough year. And then another one there. February 16th and 17th.
What was going on in 1910?
It was crazy. And then 2008, March 7th and 8th. The one we just had, 10.4 at the airport. That's the last total we had at 1. We'll probably add a little bit more to that. It's the biggest since 2008.
I remember that because March 8th is my birthday, and I remember celebrating my birthday in Columbus. And
I was going to say, with the snowball,
everything was closed. I mean, it was a weather emergency, so the streets were just dead.
I bet I know what you did. Things coming to blowing and
don't.
Oh, we're off the rails. I hope you're at home. I hope you're staying warm, staying off the roads because the winds are staying up tonight. Those gusty winds are going to kind of blow the snow around, create some drifts, especially in outlying areas. Bitter cold air coming, sub-zero wind chills possible the next few mornings. And yeah, we're eyeing a little more snow for the Friday, Saturday time frame. Not as big as this one, not even close, but some accumulation is looking likely with that. Winter storm warning's been cut back. All but our eastern counties under it. Officially ends at midnight, but they started to trim it back. I would have left it up if I were them, and not because it's still snowing. They're taking it down as the snow ends, but because we're still going to see impacts. The roads are they're not going to be good. They're going to be getting better. They're getting better, no doubt about that. But still, with blowing snow around such cold temperatures tonight into tomorrow morning, still bad roads, especially residential streets, especially outlying areas. Main roads in town, they're going to get better and better as the night wears on. And then tomorrow afternoon, improvement, some flurries, some peaks of sun. Look at the winds gusting over 33 at the airport, over 30 miles an hour there at Wilmington. And there's our camera in Oxford. Clouds locked in place, a few flurries from time to time. 26 degrees, feels like 12 with those gusty winds coming through. Wind chills are in the teens in a lot of spots. By morning, they may slip into the single digits. So clouds around, breezy through the evening, a slow fall through the 20s, with maybe a little bit of clearing come late this evening. We're hopeful for a little of that. There goes the snow moving to the east of us. Some flakes still flying, though, in Adams and Highland County, but the snow's exiting, and you can see a few breaks in the clouds overnight. Now, if we get enough in the way of breaks by morning, we could see temperatures drop as low as the single digits. Wind chills sub-zero in some spots in the morning, so it's a bitter cold start there on Tuesday, and then those chills, they won't get out of the teens tomorrow afternoon. We're going to repeat this again on Wednesday with wind chills single digits, even sub-zero Wednesday morning, and not getting out of the single digits and low teens there into the afternoon on Wednesday. So again, kind of messy tomorrow morning. We could drop into the single digits if we get a little bit of clearing. If the clouds continue, we'll probably be in the low teens, and then rebounding into the mid-20s, mainly cloudy skies expected tomorrow. Let's talk about Friday. Light snow developing late Friday afternoon into Friday night. Some accumulation is looking likely. Not nearly as much as the storm we just saw. Snow looks to move out on Saturday. travel, though, is going to be impacted there Friday, especially into early Saturday. There's the latest model projections bringing some of that snow in late Friday afternoon and Friday evening, and then lingering it Saturday morning especially, but there will be some scattered snow showers that may continue on Saturday. They could bring some additional accumulation, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. 25 tomorrow, 24 Wednesday, teens for highs Thursday and Friday. Lows are going to dip down into the single digits, close to zero, if not below zero. And then there's your next shot of snow Friday into Saturday. Quiet weather into early next week. But I know you have plans this weekend. I know you're going to want to stay on top of things. You can do it with our free Weather Authority app. Guys, back to you.
John, thank you. To shovel or not to shovel, the choice is yours. We're going to share the potential risks of both after the break.
Hi, I'm Greg. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. After working 25 years in the automotive industry, I retired. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me. I've been taking Prevagen for 8 years now, and it's still helping me tremendously.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy. So you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
Struggling with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis? Talk to your doctor about #1 prescribed Entyvio, offering 2 maintenance options, including the Entyvio pen. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Entyvio, relief, remission for real.
Entyvio, Entyvio, Entyvio.
Have you ever dreamt of getting 2 of your fave Wendy's items for $7? Like a spicy chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs? Well, today's the day your oddly specific dream comes true. Pretty good dream. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
Sky-high medical bills.
We've seen rampant increases. We've seen rampant errors and overcharges.
And mystery fees. What you can do to fight back. Local 12 investigates. Tonight at 6.
It's snow to the north. We've seen ice pellets or sleet to the south.
Massive amounts of snow, sleet, and ice tonight.
We have crews out all over the tri-state during this winter storm.
We do have a wintry mix on top of that snow that could
Trust Local 12, the Weather Authority.
Taking a live look at one place in the tri-state sure to benefit from the biggest snowfall here in years. We're talking, of course, about perfect north slopes in Lawrenceburg. It's been slammed today with skiers and snowboarders enjoying that fresh pow. I see one skier.
I see a couple in the middle of the hill, and I will say
Okay.
this. We signed up for Doodles, which is the weekly lesson, and they postponed the Doodles lessons a week because of the snow.
It's so deep.
Well,
the doodles will get buried.
The little kid doodles. They said because of the roadways and conditions getting there, that's why they postponed it for a week.
Okay. Well, I'm glad no one fell since we were live, taking a live look at that. Meanwhile, speaking of falling, hundreds of injuries are reported during snow emergencies, especially with falls and fractures.
So do you risk getting hurt while shoveling or risk an injury because you don't clear that sidewalk or your steps? Consumer reporter Cassie Arsenault is here to answer the question. Cassie?
Well, it may be an easy out for someone that does not want to shovel today, but let's give you the facts first. The American College of Emergency Physicians monitors injuries closely during record snow days like today, and they report almost 1,600 snow injuries per year. So I went to go talk to a doctor to find out what's the better risk to take. Shovel the walkway, which can cause injury, even heart attack, especially as we get older in age because of how heavy and stressful shoveling can be with this type of snow, or risk walking through an icy or snowy area that's not cleared at all. The short answer is shovel the walkway. So more injuries do come from people not being able to see where they're stepping because of too much snow or a slip from ice that they didn't see. But if you're going to shovel, you just have to use common sense here. Know where you're stepping, have a plan, and honestly expect to fall or slip and think, is there something nearby I can grab onto, like a railing? And have your phone with you in case something does happen and you need to call someone for some help. Also, just take breaks. A lot of you got to stay home today, and that's great. It's not a race. You have nothing else to do. So just shovel in increments. Go inside, get warm, do the rest later, maybe even tomorrow.
Going out in the snow can not only result in an orthopedic injury, but also a heart injury. It's a lot more stressful on your heart than you think. When there's ice or there's potential for slipping, unfortunate fractures, especially hip fractures or other fractures, very much come to mind.
And even if you're someone who thinks you're in great shape, you work out every single day, moving this kind of snow and the amount of snow is more than a workout than you would even think. And it makes it even more stressful and taxing when it's this cold. So yes, shovel the walkway, but take your time. I'm consumer reporter Cassie Arsenal. Back to you guys.
And I'm Morella Porter. We are live with what we're seeing on the west side coming up.
When you want to make junk disappear, leave it where it is. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is full-service junk removal. I've got a partner who lives down the street from you, and we're anxious to come to your rescue. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
I'm Nick. And I'm Nate. And we're the local twin brothers, making it easy to sell your property. At CVG Homebuyers, we make it hassle-free with an all-cash offer, and we close when you're ready. We're cash home buyers, so don't make any repairs and you don't pay any closing costs. We're local and we've dealt with every challenge: foreclosures, back taxes, and even vacant or inherited houses. You'll talk directly with Nick and I, and we'll put our experience to work for you.
Call 513-401-6447. That's 401-6447.
These hands create. All of the materials I work with dry out my hands. If my hands get really dry, I can't do my job. I depend on O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
Struggling with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis? Talk to your doctor about #1 prescribed Entyvio, offering 2 maintenance options, including the Entyvio pen. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Entyvio, relief, remission for real.
Entyvio, Entyvio, Entyvio.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable raccoon? Attack.
Bark!
Attack. It's not easy taking out the trash. That's why you need strength that's anything but ordinary.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
When you want to make junk disappear, leave it where it is. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is full-service junk removal. I've got a partner who lives down the street from you, and we're anxious to come to your rescue. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Big snowstorm from Cincinnati all the way through parts of Pennsylvania, and the D.C. area could see their biggest snow in a few years.
Snow is falling across a wide swath of the country today, bringing a winter wonderland, but with it, dangerous driving conditions. Welcome back here at 4:30. Anyone who's had to get out on the roads today, I can personally attest, probably found scenes like this one on Columbia-Tusculum, which has since cleared, but that's pretty bad.
It was very tough for crews to make any progress. Not only were the roads covered, but the snow kept falling. Finally, at this hour, things are changing. Chief Meteorologist John Gum is in with an update. John?
All right, guys, picture this. I'm coming up Dorchester today, trying to get to the station, and I'm going up Dorchester. Here comes a car sliding right down in my lane right at me. So I'm like playing Frogger. I'm like, doop. Then parked car, doop. Another parked car, boop. Here comes another car sliding at me, boop. Made it to the top. Yeah, it was crazy today. It was rough out there. And that was a short drive. It's 3/10 of a mile. I was staying at the hotel down the street. Look at the snowfall totals today. Over 11 inches in Aurora, Cleves at 11 inches. This is a new report that came in out of Northgate. Just shy of 11 inches there. Over 11 inches at the airport. We're waiting on the final total there. Over 10 inches at the airport. Over 10 inches at Covedale, Kentonvale, South Lebanon, Delhi Township. That's a new one I got in. Mason, all at 10 inches, 9.5 there at College Corner, Indiana. And the last of the snow is exited to the east of Cincinnati. A couple flakes still flying out here in Adams County and Mason County. That's about it. Clouds are going to linger. Winds are going to stay gusty through the evening. Maybe a few breaks in the clouds, and even a few flurries are possible from time to time. The other big story, not just the cold, the wind that will be blowing. That's our live Oxford cam right now. 26, north winds at 22. Feels like 12 degrees when you factor in that wind, and you'll notice the wind chill's down in the teens. It's going to be a cold night ahead of us with the winds gusting to 33 at the airport, 30 Wilmington, 25 Middletown. That's blowing around the snow, especially in areas that don't have any wind breaks like buildings or trees to stop the wind. So outlying areas, you're going to see blowing snow, drifting snow through the evening. I got blowing snow on the forecast. Temperatures falling through the 20s, maybe a few breaks in the clouds come later tonight. But the road conditions, they're going to continue to be a problem, not just tonight, but through tomorrow, especially tomorrow morning. We're eyeing more snow, too, for the weekend, and I'll talk more about that coming up in my Weather Authority forecast.
More and more schools are already canceling for tomorrow, and when you look outside, or if you've been outside, then you understand why.
Yeah, local 12's Morella Porter is on the west side of town with a look at conditions in Cheviot and Westwood. And Morella, I'm sorry to say this, you look really cold. Are you bundled up enough?
I thought I was, but maybe not, because my toes, I just can't feel them anymore. But right now we've moved a little further in to Westwood here. We are standing right here is Boudinot Avenue. This is the cross section with Harrison. On Harrison, I mean, it's looking pretty good out there on Harrison. That is one of the main streets, obviously a busier street. That is one of the streets that the city is kind of focusing on, those main streets that people drive on. But the side streets, those are just not looking as good. We're going to swivel the camera around here so that you can take a look. You see all those people coming out of hibernation. They're shoveling, getting out of their houses. People are showing up to White Castle here to grab a bite for dinner. But you can just see that big difference. People are actually getting stuck right here where all of this snow has kind of piled up and gotten all dirty and muddy here. But the city has a lot of road to cover, about 3,100 lane miles that they are responsible for. And again, their big focus is those main streets. At this point, obviously, the snow has let up, but a big challenge they were facing in the past overnight and, the past 24 hours or so was just that continuing snowfall. Take a listen.
We just ask that people be patient. We're going to continue to work and until all of the streets are touched. Some things have been touched, and then they look again a little while later like they haven't been touched, but that is the result of what Mother Nature is bringing us right now.
Yeah, and obviously for a while things were looking like a ghost town. There was nobody out here, so maybe no one saw, when these roads were all cleared up. People have come up to us all frustrated about how they look right now, but everyone's just going to have to pack their patience, basically. The city says that their goal is to have all the streets passable 24 hours after, the last snowflake falls. But for now, Warren and Butler counties.
Yeah, Morella, thanks very much. It is actually not so bad here right now. It's a tale of two interstates, really. This is the I-75 right just south of Union Center Drive, and things are moving right along at or perhaps above the speed limit. People really need to be careful because it's not necessarily the snow that'll get you, it's the slush that catches those tires and sends you off in all kinds of different directions. The area has actually not necessarily been as clear as this on the other side of town. And take a look at the I-71. We saw a lot of spinouts and stuck cars, stuck semi, as a matter of fact, that you might be looking at right now. Some people, they're just not dealing well with the snowy conditions. Not much fun at all out there for some of the drivers. We did catch up with some people who were having fun, though. It's a snow day, of course, for a lot of students and even quite a few parents who got the day off, and they took full advantage of the snow at Columbia Intermediate in Deerfield Township.
8 or 10 inches of snow that we have today, those are good snow days.
Who's having more fun, these kids or you?
Me. A snow day's fun for the kids, but when you're an adult, they're even better.
Well, wouldn't you rather be in school?
No.
What's the best part of sledding?
Killing yourself.
Jumping?
Getting concussions. Yeah, getting concussions.
Well, a lot of businesses are closed today. This Chevy's not open. You can see the parking lot is empty. The Top Golf across the street, we called them and they said that they are not open. They don't know when they're going to reopen. A lot of snow here. A lot of people giving their employees the day off. The snow here, I'd say probably about 8 inches or so up in the northern part of the viewing area. And cold, I have to tell you. Reporting live from Butler County. This is David Winter, back to you in the studio.
David, just a quick editor's note. The restaurant behind you, Chewy's.
Have you ever eaten there?
It's a Tex-Mex restaurant. Chewy's.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right. Absolutely. I read wrong. And no, I have not eaten here, and I'm not going to be eating here tonight because it's closed.
Very good. Thank you, David. Chewy's.
But after all that hard work, he's going to work up an appetite. So maybe in the coming days, he'll eat at that restaurant.
Maybe check it out. Chewy's.
All right.
Yeah, local 12's Katie Amrine is out on the roads right now. She's been patrolling the east side. I believe she should still be in that general vicinity. You gave a shout out to Mount Carmel. That's where I grew up there. I don't know if you knew that, Katie. That's where the Adam Clements origin story begins. Where are you now?
I love it, Adam. We are currently in Anderson Township. I'm going to flip over the camera. You caught us at a good time. We have a snowplow literally plowing this street right now. We're on Forest Road in Anderson Township, and as he's clearing the road, it's getting so much better. I feel like a lot of these side streets, it's a hit or miss. Some have really been good, like when we were in Blue Ash earlier, the side streets had been great in some of the neighborhoods we went through. In Milford and in Mount Carmel, it was kind of a mix, and now over here in Anderson Township, things have been really very clear. As the snow, of course, has stopped at this point. Those main drags, those main thoroughfares, the highways, when we went down 275, those are looking a lot better now. Originally, when we first started driving earlier today in the early afternoon, there was a lot of snow on the ground. We were only going maybe 20 miles an hour. Now we're at the point where we can go up to almost 50 in some areas when we're heading towards Cincinnati. So we're going to keep going down. We've been kind of going off on the exits down 275 and then showing you guys some side streets and things like that, but we're working our way through these next couple shows over to Florence. That's going to be our final spot at 6 o'clock. We'll be around there. So it's kind of, again, the road conditions, it's a little bit of a mix as the snow has stopped here. We're currently on Witt Road in Anderson Township. We passed Anderson High School earlier. They still have a lot of plowing to do in their parking lots. It seems that's sort of the case for a lot of businesses, so we'll see how things go. But for now, live in Anderson Township, Katie Amrine, Local 12 News.
Katie, thank you. It's nice to see just the roadway wet, because that means the plows are doing their jobs. Share your pictures or videos of the winter weather happening in your neighborhood on local12.com and on our news app. You can also browse the galleries. There are hundreds of photos, we mean hundreds, already submitted.
When I realized our furnace was dead and it was 15 degrees outside, I called around to a few places. Everyone was booked out like 4 or 5 days. I thought we were going to have to stay in a hotel with 3. Then I remembered seeing Help Home Services on TV. They seemed like maybe a bigger company, so I gave them a call. Sure enough, they had a technician there a couple hours later. Everything was fixed and the heat was on before the kids went to bed. Amazing experience. So glad I called help.
Help Home Services. Let them save your day, too.
Look at him, streaming DirecTV without a satellite dish. Did you see how fast that guy found the game? He hardly struggled at all. Every day is a struggle for us pigeons, and he's flipping through channels faster than a falcon.
You know, I dated a falcon once.
Insurance.
Legendary service for whatever life throws at you. That's insurance with AAA.
Get back in the swing of things. Back on your feet. Back to work. Just tell us what hurts. Ortho Cincy offers online scheduling, same and next day appointments, walk-in orthopedic urgent care. Ortho Cincy, the orthopedic authority.
Brr, draft season is definitely here.
But not in there. The Joneses just replaced their drafty old windows with Window Nation.
They thought it was too late in the season, but Window Nation showed them just how quick and easy it would be.
And they didn't have to leave their home or empty their wallets.
Maybe we should join them for a cup of hot chocolate?
That is why I never leave home without a bag full of marshmallows. Get your free estimate today and get 50% off all windows, plus no interest or payments for 2 years at getwindownation.com.
4 years to the day after a violent mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol and interrupted Congress as lawmakers gathered to certify Joe Biden's presidential win, Congress convenes to certify Donald Trump's 2024 election win. Vice President Kamala Harris, the candidate he defeated, presided over the joint session. Washington, D.C. police officer Daniel Hodges, who was beaten in a doorway during the attack, and attended today's session as a guest of Senator Adam Schiff.
It would be my honor to make it as uncomfortable as possible for the GOP members who try to whitewash that day and lie about what happened and pretend that we didn't save them.
Nearly 1,600 people have been charged for their roles in the insurrection, some carrying weapons like bear spray, knives, and flagpoles. Of those, 1,000 have pleaded guilty. 600 were charged with assaulting or resisting police. But with President-elect Trump set to take office in a few weeks, the federal election interference case against him has been dropped. He's also pledged pardons for the rioters, but he's yet to say if it'll all be all or just some. Critics fear erasing those convictions could embolden attacks on democracy.
Authorities investigating the deadly terror attack in New Orleans released new information about the attacker. They say the suspect traveled to the city at least twice before he rammed a pickup truck into a crowd of people last Wednesday. The FBI released video showing Samsud-Din Jabbar riding a bike through the French Quarter last October. He recorded the ride on his Meta glasses, which are smart eyeglasses with built-in cameras. He also wore them the day that the massacre occurred. He went to the city again in November. Agents are also looking into trips that the ISIS-inspired attacker made to Cairo, Egypt, and Ontario, Canada during the summer of 2023.
Our agents are getting answers as to where he went, who he met with, and how those trips may or may not tie into his actions here in our city in New Orleans.
The Bureau also showed these surveillance videos recorded less than 2 hours before the rampage. They showed Jabbar placing a cooler with an explosive device on a Bourbon Street intersection. Bystanders later moved that cooler to a different location. Another video shows him walking to his truck where he picked up the second cooler filled with explosives and left it just a block away from where he put the first IED. Neither of those devices detonated. The president and first lady also visited New Orleans today to meet with family members to talk security with city officials. That's important because some of the first smaller Mardi Gras parades are beginning. Well, Americans are celebrating the life and legacy of former President Jimmy Carter this week.
Well-wishers are filing past his casket at the Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta for one final day before his remains are taken to Washington tomorrow morning. Outside the center, people of all ages leaving flowers and messages in tribute to the nation's 39th president.
It's a celebration. I know many people feel very somber, but I feel mostly celebratory for having known, I don't mean I know him, but of knowing this man and his good works, and they're very inspiring.
He inspired lots of people to do great things.
Carter will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda tomorrow and Wednesday. On Thursday, all 5 living U.S. presidents are expected to attend a state funeral at the nation's cathedral. President Carter will then have one final homecoming. He'll be buried in Plains, Georgia, on the family property next to his wife of 77 years, Rosalind Carter.
It's a warehouse extravaganza at JP Flooring Design Center. Throughout January, we're offering savings up to 75%, special financing, weekly doorbusters, and more. This is the best time all year to buy premium goods for a great value. Luxury vinyl starting at $1.59. Window treatments up to 25% off. Hurry in. Savings like these won't last. Visit jpflooring.com for details.
I'm Nick. And I'm Nate. And we're the local twin brothers, making it easy to sell your property. At CVG Homebuyers, we make it hassle-free with an all-cash offer, and we close when you're ready. We're cash home buyers, so don't make any repairs and you don't pay any closing costs. We're local and we've dealt with every challenge: foreclosures, back taxes, and even vacant or inherited houses. You'll talk directly with Nick and I, and we'll put our experience to work for you.
Call 513-401-6447. That's 401-6447.
Kick off 2025 with a new bathroom from the experts at West Shore Home. Every day we help hundreds of homeowners replace their outdated bath with something new and modern. And right now we're making it easier than ever with no payments or interest until 2026. With our New Year flash sale, you can get 12 months of no payments and no interest. And for a limited time, you can refresh your bathroom for less with 20% off your project. And we'll take an extra $500 off. Call today and don't miss out on these special savings. You can choose from hundreds of combinations of flooring styles, vanities, shower walls, and accessories. It's all part of a world-class remodeling experience that leaves homeowners raving. Check out the reviews online at westshorebath.com or search West Shore Home to see for yourself. This flash sale is extended this week only with no payments or interest for 12 months. Plus, take 20% off your entire project. And if you call today, you'll save an additional $500 off with flash sale savings. Start planning your bathroom today by visiting westshorebath.com.
Want to make this new year really big? Start with a really big deal from Big Sandy. Buy the Hot Point top load washer for $4.99. Get the dryer half price. $7.49 buys the pair. 4-piece stainless steel kitchen packages in store for immediate delivery, starting at just $24.99. Plus up to 2 years, same as cash financing and free delivery. Whatever you do, don't miss our New Year's sale at Big Sandy Superstore.
Hurry in. It's a warehouse extravaganza at JP Flooring Design Center.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gumbs' hour-by-hour forecast.
Okay, the snow's moving out, but we're going to continue to see impacts from blowing and drifting snow through the early part of the evening, especially in outlying areas where we don't have any windbreaks or buildings or trees to kind of block that wind. So that will continue to be something we watch through the evening here. As the night goes on, though, the winds are going to get lighter and lighter. Bitter cold air, our next big weather story. Sub-zero wind chills are possible over the next few mornings, and lows, if we get a little clearing, actual air temperatures may dip into the single digits, if not down around zero or even below zero. All this snowpack on the ground leads to really cold conditions if we get the clouds to clear out. More snow, number 3, that's probably the biggest one as we go through Friday and Saturday. It doesn't look like a big snow at this time. It looks like a smaller snow, but some accumulation there likely, and that could impact travel. There's the winter storm warning, still up for our eastern counties officially. They've been pulling it down as the snow moves out, so they'll likely expire this soon. I think they should probably leave it up through the evening because we're still going to see travel impacts remaining from this storm. So the snow ends, flurries linger, gusty winds early this evening leading to some blowing snow. And then tomorrow morning, lingering flurries, still a little blowing snow, although the winds won't be quite as strong in the morning. Obviously, we're still going to have issues on secondary roads, on rural roads, outlying areas. Main roads in town are going to get better and better and continue to improve. Same deal into tomorrow afternoon. Some flurries continue, but overall, a lot of improvement. Look at the wind, still gusting to 33 at the International Airport, 26 miles an hour there in Wilmington, and 22 in Lebanon. So the gusty winds are out there now. They continue through the early evening. By midnight, still kind of breezy, but after midnight, those winds begin to calm down, so they're a lot calmer, it looks like, heading into tomorrow. 26 degrees, north winds sustained at 22, and that makes it feel like just 12 when you factor in the winds with that cold air. And you can see the wind chill chills down in the teens in a lot of spots. So that's the big story this evening. Lingering road issues, temperatures slowly falling through the 20s. But the cold, the big story as we start to clear out a little bit overnight. There goes the snow moving away from us. Again, the last of the flakes exiting our southeastern counties. And with the exception of a few flurries, the snow is over. Maybe a few breaks in the clouds at times overnight into the morning. If we get enough clearing around here, it's going to get really cold in the morning, perhaps down into the single digits in the spots that see clearing. Add a little wind into the mix. Wind chills will be a few degrees either side of zero, either below zero or just above zero. So really bitter cold start to Tuesday. Wind chills tomorrow afternoon. They don't make it out of the teens. And we repeat this into Wednesday. Wind chills, again, a few degrees either side of zero Wednesday morning. And they won't make it out of the single digits and low teens by Wednesday afternoon. So some cold air on the way. Be careful tomorrow morning. Single digits if we get a little clearing. If the clouds stick around, we'll likely stay in the lower teens and then only into the mid-20s by tomorrow afternoon with some peaks of sun possible at times tomorrow. Let's talk about Friday. What we know, we expect snow to develop later in the day Friday into Friday night. It looks to be lighter snow overall, but some accumulations looking likely. Not as much as the storm we just saw, but travel could be impacted as we move through late Friday and Saturday. And you can see that system on our modeling kind of picking up that snow late Friday night into early Saturday morning. Then some lingering snow showers are possible there on Saturday, probably continuing to impact traffic somewhat. So let me show you the 7-day. 25 mostly cloudy tomorrow, 24 Wednesday, single digit lows the next few nights, only teens for highs Thursday and Friday. There's your shot of snow Friday into Saturday, calming down Sunday and Monday. You've got weekend plans. You need to know what's going on. Stay up to date with it 24/7 with our Weather Authority app.
The weather may make it hard to get around, but more importantly, it could also make it hard on your heart. I'm Liz Bonus. We explain how, what we all need to know to protect against it. It is just ahead.
Sky-high medical bills.
We've seen rampant increases. We've seen rampant errors and overcharges.
And mystery fees. What you can do to fight back. Local 12 investigates. Tonight at 6.
We know you spend time on here, and so do we.
We take all the unforgettable Good Morning Cincinnati moments that you love
and customize it just for you.
Ready to share on social.
Instant updates all morning long.
On Local 12, Good Morning Cincinnati.
Your early morning wake-up call.
The world around us can change a lot over the years, but some things will always stay the same.
You remember that night?
Oh, yeah.
At Thomas & Galbraith, we're here to keep your home comfortable for life.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went in different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
But it feels good to feel good and look good. The mommy belly is gone.
Our flexible payment options make it easy to get started today. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Call 1-888-379-8251 or go to sonobello.com.
Want to make this new year really big? Start with a really big deal from Big Sandy. Start with up to $800 off premium mattress sets, plus free delivery and a free $300 gift. Get a free Power Base upgrade with any $599 or more mattress. King Serta mattress for the queen price, starting at $899, plus free delivery and up to 5 years interest free during our New Year's sale at Big Sandy's Superstore.
You know those pictures of perfect closets that would make your friends jealous? Closets by Design made that affordable for me.
Get 40% off plus free installation. Call 1-800-BY-DESIGN or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Local 12, Good Morning Cincinnati.
Your early morning wake-up call.
Health
Healthy You, sponsored by Ortho
If you do have to go out in the weather, a reminder to use extra caution with every step.
Hey there, everybody. This time of year when the weather gets slick, it's often the very thing that leads to slips and falls. Quite often when we have layers underfoot, the number of especially broken wrists and ankles, as well as ankle sprains and strains, goes up. This according to foot and ankle specialist Dr. John Linz.
The ankle is probably one of the most commonly injured joints in the body. And everybody knows ankle sprain. Everybody's probably had an ankle sprain at some point in time. Fortunately, most of those are minor and can be treated non-operatively. There are very few that need to be treated operatively.
That said, if you have an injury, best not to try and evaluate it yourself. Ortho Cincy, now one of several places offering urgent care specific to orthopedic injuries. Now, these are walk-in places. You do not need an appointment, but they can often get you in quickly. You'll get a proper diagnosis, initial treatment, and you won't spend hours waiting in a local emergency room. For the hours and locations for the Ortho Cincy urgent care team, click Inside Healthy You at what'shappeninginhealth.com.
Now here are Kyle and Paula with Local 12 News, live at 5.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Good evening, I'm Paula Toti.
And I'm Kyle Inskeep. Welcome back here to our continuing coverage of the first major winter storm of the season. We are still under a winter storm warning right now. The tri-state has seen up to a foot of snow in some places.
Yeah, this was the situation for some who ventured out today. Treacherous road conditions made traveling difficult. The snow has stopped falling, but the wind chill and the cold temperatures mean that all this stuff's going to stick around for quite a while. Yeah, our team of reporters is out in the elements reporting on the conditions near you, but we're going to start with Chief Meteorologist John Gum. John?
All right, guys, we are seeing the snow moving out of the picture right now. Check it out, last of it exiting stage right here, so it's gone. Maybe a few flurries lingering tonight, but this is all beginning to wind itself down now. Futurecast is going to show perhaps a few breaks in the clouds overnight, even a few flurries, but this is over, coming to an end. The impacts, though, are going to continue to linger. A snowy picture from Oxford, 26 with a north-northwest wind at 16. Part of the reason the impacts are lingering. Gusty winds producing a wind chill of 14 now. We're going to see some blowing snow in parts of the tri-state through the evening. Temperatures in the teens right now, or the wind chills in the teens with temperatures in the 20s, and the winds gusting 20, nearly 30 miles an hour in some communities, and especially in outlying areas. That's going to create some blowing and drifting snow through the evening. Now, here's the good news. As the night goes on, especially after midnight, the winds are going to begin to calm down. Temperatures falling through the 20s, wind chills making it feel colder, and a few breaks in the clouds. And if we get enough breaks toward dawn tomorrow, I expect temperatures to actually dip into the single digits around here. So it's going to be plenty cold. Wind chills are going to go sub-zero. Roads blowing snow around, a few flurries. But the bottom line is slow improvement expected. Faster improvement, obviously, on the main roads as we work through the morning into tomorrow afternoon. We're tracking more snow, too, for the weekend. Coming up in weather, we'll step you through when we could see even more flakes fly in my Weather Authority forecast.
All right, John, thank you so much. Well, a crash involving a semi shut down I-71-75 this morning. It happened around 4 a.m. near the cut in the hill after Kyle's Lane. Crews worked to remove that truck from the road, and Local 12's James Pilcher is covering conditions for us tonight in northern Kentucky, and he joins us live with a report. So, James, what are you seeing out there at this point?
So the northbound lanes of the interstates here behind me opened back up shortly after 11 a.m. after that jackknife truck back and forth. Now, I can't say the same thing about the local roads, however. Now, Kyle's Lane here behind me is closed down further east, and Dixie Highway just ahead of me is barely passable in some spots. We saw several cars getting out or getting stuck or spinning out, especially when trying to cross unplowed areas of the road. Part of the issue was that the shutdown diverted traffic into local areas and then slowed down snow removal there as well. Elsewhere in northern Kentucky, Boone County engineer Robert Franksman says the fact that the snow fell so quickly over such a long period made it hard to keep up. So he asked those in more rural areas or in some subdivisions to be patient as crews make their way back there, but was also hopeful as a new crew came on at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Probably in a passable state, so
maybe call it a C- at the moment. But I think as temperatures are going up at the moment, I think we're looking for about 28 degrees. And with the chemicals and stuff that we do have on the roadway right now, we expect things to improve pretty rapidly.
And now the conditions here have improved somewhat over the afternoon with the wind slowing, but the snow has continued to fall even as the sun even peaked out for a bit earlier today. And like I said, we've seen more snow plows here locally in the last couple hours, but those highway leaders are still preaching patience. Live in Fort Wright, James Filter, back to you guys.
Yeah, James, we can see those plows have been putting in good work behind you. That road there looks very clear. Thank you so much. There are 1,400 pieces of equipment out across Kentucky clearing and treating the roads right now. 2,300 employees are on the roads working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shifts, and Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is urging everyone to plan ahead if they have to be out tomorrow.
And even if you can see that blacktop tomorrow morning, just take extra time, go a little bit slower. Don't get false confidence. Stay off the roads today as long as you can, and that'll get us the best chance to have it in the best condition for tomorrow morning.
And Department of Transportation officials say it is important to carry a car emergency kit that includes a flashlight, batteries, first aid items, jumper cables, and reflective triangles.
All right, let's head east. Local 12's Chelsea Sick is in Columbia, Tusculum, checking out the road conditions on US 50. So what are you seeing there, Chelsea?
Well, we've got some good news out of Columbia, Tusculum right now. It stopped snowing. I know I'm happy about that. My videographer, Nick, is happy about that. The other thing that's awesome, we can actually see US 50, a very big difference than what we saw here earlier this afternoon around noon. You see some people still out here braving it this evening. And when we were out here earlier, I mean, this was snow covered. So this is definitely a lot better than it was. But you can see these side roads. So this is at 50 and Stanley. They are still snow covered. And this is something we will likely see throughout the night tonight. We know that the crews here in Cincinnati are focusing on these main thoroughfares, those hospital routes, the hills. Before they get to some of these side streets, we've seen some kids sledding down this road. And usually at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, we would see a huge backup down 50 at this point, especially because of the bridge closure. We're just not seeing that. So it looks like a lot of people did stay home from work today, worked from home, so they didn't have to deal with these roadways. We want to show you what they looked like earlier today, though. We're going to show you some video. We saw a lot of cars here, right here at this intersection, having issues turning onto the side streets. Some of them having issues just on 50 itself, and it really didn't matter what kind of car they had. We saw trucks, we saw cars spinning out and having those issues. I talked to Assistant Fire Chief Matt Flagler, who tells me they've been very busy with calls all over Cincinnati today, specifically with wrecks or people just stuck in the snow. I spoke with him a little bit ago. Take a listen.
The other thing that we've noticed is an uptick in some medical runs where people have appointments like for dialysis and they're not able to get to the appointment. So this would be a good time to call your provider. Most your providers or you probably have a backup plan. This is a good day to talk about that backup plan with your physician or your provider.
Do you all provide transportation for people who have to go to those appointments?
We do not. If there's an emergency, we'll take you to the emergency room in an ambulance, but otherwise we don't provide that service.
Cincinnati officials say they do have more than 100 crews working 12-hour shifts, working to get these roads clear. Their main goal is to get roadways passable 24 hours after the last snowfall. So that has just happened within the last hour or so, where the snow has finally stopped. So that's good news for people who live here who are waiting for those crews to get down their road. Now, just about a half an hour ago, Nick and I drove all the way down 50 into downtown to really look at all of the roads, all of them all the way down 50. And we have to say it's pretty clear until you get to Torrance, and then from Torrance to downtown, it is not as clear. So go ahead and take a look at that video. I posted it on my Facebook page, but for now, we're going to send it back to you all in the studio.
So I'm just kind of curious. You've got a coffee shop behind you down the road. There's pizza place, I think sandwich, little restaurants. Have they been operating? Could you tell?
We have not seen, so we're trying to go to different parking lots because that's where we feel like we can actually park and not get stuck. The only place we've been able to park today is the Speedway parking lot because it doesn't look like anybody's been in the Starbucks lot today. The lot that has that pizza place, Taglio's, just down the street, that lot is still really snow covered and really thick. So it does not look like these businesses have opened up today. We know schools are already starting to close for tomorrow, so it will be interesting to see, especially with that morning commute, how things are looking out here tomorrow.
All right, you're getting your coffee at the Speedway over there. All right, thanks so much.
Yes.
All right. Well, hope for the playoffs. They are dashed for the Bengals, and now there's a shakeup among the coaching staff.
Yeah, big shakeup here. Local 12's Yanni Tregelis is here to tell us who the team let go. Yanni.
Yeah, guys, they call it Black Monday for a reason. NFL coaches around the league whose teams underperformed during the season, today they wait to learn their fate, and the Bengals made a couple decisions today, most notably firing defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, who had been with the team since 2019. And Anarumo's time in Cincy comes to an end after the Bengals missed the playoffs with a 25th-ranked defense in yards and points allowed. And Anarumo not the only coach that was let go today. Offensive line coach Frank Pollock also fired after another season where Joe Burrow was under relentless pressure and sacked 48 times on the year. And then on the defensive side, linebackers coach James Betcher and defensive line coach Marion Hobby, they are also all moving on. Head coach Zach Taylor discussing the firings that he made following a 9-8 season.
Just as I evaluate everything within the organization, I just felt like we needed to make a change there. And it's as simple as that. And we'll start that process immediately of evaluating where we need to go and who we want to bring in to help take us to the next level. But again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what those guys did. And they worked hard every single day, and they're great football coaches, and they'll land on their feet very quickly.
And Anarumo, he had received some head coaching considerations after the Bengals Super Bowl appearance in 2021. But after 6 years on the job, that included the defense ranked in the bottom half of the league in points for 5 of those 6 years. The Bengals now choosing to move in a new direction. And meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, cornerstone left tackle Orlando Brown Jr., he called the firing of Frank Pollock a hard one for him personally, saying that he helped him make a huge leap in his career under Pollock's leadership. Paula?
All right. A heavy snowfall can do more than make traveling on area roads nearly impossible. It can also damage our homes.
Yeah, coming up next, what you need to consider when close to a foot of snow falls on your roof. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sky-high medical bills.
We've seen rampant increases. We've seen rampant errors and overcharges.
And mystery fees. What you can do to fight back. Local 12 investigates. Tonight at 6.
It's snow to the north. We've seen ice pellets or sleet to the south.
Massive amounts of snow, sleet, and ice tonight.
We have crews out all over the tri-state during this winter storm.
We do have a wintry mix on top of that snow that could
Trust Local 12, the Weather Authority.
Did a car accident cause you injury? Call Elk & Elk at 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Now at Sleep Outfitters New Year's event, save up to $800 on most adjustable mattress sets from Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy. Plus, save up to 50% on discontinued sleep essentials. Sleep Outfitters, the way mattress shopping should be.
Before and after. Before and after. If you have a before kitchen, now's the time to call Kitchen Saver and get a beautiful after. With our custom cabinet renewal process, you can have a brand new kitchen within 3 to 5 days. We're so confident in our products that we'll back it all, labor and materials, with our 10-year limited warranty. Claim our special offer and become a satisfied customer today.
Prepare to be impressed. Kitchen Saver.
Do you have an experienced ACL doc you can recommend?
I'm right here.
Can you tailor treatment to me?
I'm right here.
Is it possible to get medical advice in the middle of the night?
I'm right here.
At St. Elizabeth, we provide a faithful commitment to the community, innovative treatments, and unsurpassed advancements in care. We understand you have questions, and at St. Elizabeth, we personalize care with answers you need.
Why should you call Junk King when you need someone to take care of your stuff? Because we're the nation's top-rated junk calling company. 60% of everything we collect gets repurposed. So when you need someone to help you out, call the King.
Kyle, get back to work.
Yep. Sorry, Mike.
All right, obviously we had a lot of snow come down, and with that comes some worries for homeowners. Besides shoveling and clearing a driveway and walkway, well, what about the roof?
Yes, what about the roof? Consumer reporter Cassie Arsenault is here now to tell us when you should be worried and how to take action. Cassie, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you guys. We got a lot of snow, right? We've been talking about it all day, no doubt. But from a load-bearing perspective, your roof is going to be just fine. An average roof can actually hold 40 to 45 inches of fresh, light snow and 20 inches of really dense snow. So in other words, you would need to go over 20 pounds per square foot for your roof to collapse or for something major to happen. So we are in the clear there. But what you do need to watch out for is ice damming. So houses most vulnerable to this are typically older homes that don't have a well-insulated attic. And ice damming is when you get a run of ice along the edge of the roof where it comes to meet the gutter.
What ends up happening is the melting snow caused by heat dissipating from your home will cause the temperature of the roof to be hotter than the temperature outside. And what happens is that water that's trying to run off ends up getting stuck right along that ice line and causing interior moisture intrusion.
So what can you do right now? Well, not much because of all the snow we have and how cold it is, but you can look at the corners of your exterior walls, especially near the gutters, and see if you see any moisture or anything like that. However, if you have an ice water shield, it's an impermeable barrier that goes along the gutter line on the roof, which most homes have because a lot of cities and towns require it in their building codes, you should be fine. Again, it's those older homes that should stay on alert. Back to you.
All right, Cassie, thank you so much. Still ahead here on Local 12 News Live at 5. Much more of our continuing coverage of today's big winter storm. We get a sneak peek inside the cab of a snowplow as a crew member gets to work clearing the roads.
And later, the action taken by Congress today that ensured a peaceful transition of power.
It's Watson's After Christmas Sale. Shop now and save up to 50% on all home furnishings. Millions of dollars of overstock 2024 inventory has all been marked down up to 50% off. Plus interest-free financing until May of 2026. Only at Watson's.
I'm Tom Drexler. We have been rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau for over 30 years in a row. We're experts at plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. We unstop drains for just $99. Schedule at tomdrexler.com.
When Tom Drexler, that's his number. Yeah.
It's here, the new Modular One Ultimate Seating Solution from Big Sandy. Okay, say you're shopping for a sofa or sectional. You want a perfect fit. So how exactly do you do that? Well, the Modular One does exactly that every time. Choose from 6 versatile functional pieces starting at $3.99 in 5 great colors. Pick what you need, combine, adjust. That's it. Your room, your way.
Drew and Jonathan Home, now available at Big Sandy Superstore.
New year, new bathroom. This week you can take 20. Shop West Shore Home's New Year flash sale at westshorebath.com and save.
As you prepare for your future, one thing is certain: the world will continue to change. Life is unpredictable. Doesn't mean your retirement should be. At Strategic Wealth Designers, we understand the importance of stability and peace of mind. As the world around you continues to change, we'll make sure your retirement plan stays the same, so that you can focus on the things you do want in your life. Strategic Wealth Designers, financial freedom by design.
It's Watson's After Christmas Sale. Shop now and save up to 50% on all home furnishings. Millions of dollars of overstock 2024 inventory has all been marked down up to 50% off. Plus interest-free financing until May of 2026. Only at Watson's.
If you're wondering what it looks like inside a snowplow, take a look at this. The Kentucky Department of Transportation posted this video of Kenton County maintenance crew member Karika Paris. This is just a small snippet of her 12-hour shift. Paris is in charge of clearing off Hands Pike, Wayman Branch Road, Taylor Mill Road, and a small portion of Kentucky 17. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet added, quote, "Please give our crews plenty of space to work." She, and along with all of our crew members, want to go home safe at the end of their shift. A long 12-hour shift.
We cannot say thank you enough to
Yeah.
all the crews out there working so hard right now. If you do have to get out on the road right now, here are some safety tips for you to remember. They come from the Ohio Department of Public Safety. Do not use cruise control. Don't make sudden moves on the road, and keep some distance between you and other vehicles out there. And most importantly for today's conditions, if you feel yourself sliding, turn into the direction of the skid and let off the gas. Do not hit the brakes.
We're getting great pictures of people all across the tri-state as the snow piles up. This is from Lou Stunts. Lou showing us the ruler is all the way up to a foot of snow on his back table. Like when you were walking today, we had that too. You were pretty buried in it.
Oh, crazy.
Jennifer Kay in Cincinnati is sharing her back table as well. Looks like a fluffy pillow right now. And take a second to look at this. This is, Aria enjoying her first snow day. This was sent in by her great-grandma, Peggy Patrick. Don't forget, you can send in your pictures. Just go to local12.com, click on the Chime In section to upload. That is pretty precious.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gumbs' hour-by-hour forecast.
Yeah, this one was definitely a memorable snowfall, one of the bigger ones we tend to see in Cincinnati. In fact, we just got the numbers in from the National Weather Service. This is a top 10 two-day snowfall event for the area. It ranks in the top 10 on record. So let me show you those biggest two-day snowfalls in Cincinnati weather history. Of course, February 4th and 5th, 1998, over 18 inches. In 96, we had 2 days with over 14 inches on January 6th and 7th. Another one in 98 that was nearly 12 inches. 1996, we had one 11.6 inches there. December 8th and 9th, 1917, another big one. You go down the list, the blizzard of 78, 6th on the list with the most two-day snowfall. Not tops, but that one was the biggest impact of anything we've ever seen. But the one we just came out of, January 5th and 6th, 2025, 10.6 inches officially at the International Airport. That puts us in the top 10 of two-day snows, the biggest two-day snows in Cincinnati weather history. Here are some numbers. Over 11 inches in Aurora, 11 inches in Cleves, just shy of 11 at Northgate and at the International Airport. Covedale saw over 10 inches, and a lot of 10-inch totals coming in. Kentonville and Kenton County there, 10 inches. South Lebanon, Delhi Township, Mason, 10 inches. College Corner, 9.5 inches of snowfall. We've got that snow blowing around out there now with gusty winds. Those are going to continue through around midnight, and then they're going to calm down. But that will keep the roads kind of bad, especially in outlying areas that don't have protection from the wind. Bitter cold air, another huge thing we're watching tonight. Temperatures the next few nights will flirt with the single digits, if not drop into the single digits and near zero, especially if we get some clearing. But wind chills, they're going to easily be sub-zero at times the next few nights. And then we look at more snow possible into Friday and Saturday. That one does not look like it's going to be a big one. Looks to be a smaller one, but accumulations are looking more and more likely with that. They have dropped the winter storm warning for the tri-state. They have come down now. I kind of disagree with that because I think the impact are going to last through the evening, so just keep that in mind. Roads aren't going to be good tonight, and in many areas they're not going to be good tomorrow. And we're talking outlying areas, secondary roads, residential streets. They're still going to be a mess. The main roads, though, they will continue to improve. That's the good news, and continued improvement tomorrow afternoon with some flurries definitely lingering. There's the winds gusting to 25 in Lebanon now, 20 Greenfield, a gust to 24 at the International Airport. So it's plenty breezy. After midnight, though, we start to see the winds calm down. They'll go a lot lighter by morning, but enough to produce some sub-zero wind chills. Nippert Stadium camera showing that blanket of snow over Nippert, 26 right now. North-northwest winds sustained at 16, feels like 14 when you factor in the winds. The wind chills, they're down in the teens in a lot of spots, and they'll stay there through the night as temperatures slowly fall through the 20s. May see a little bit of clearing late tonight. If we clear out, well, that will lead to some really cold temperatures. There go the clouds or the snow off to the east of us. Clouds break a little bit later tonight into the morning, but if you take away that blanket of clouds, that's going to lead to some cold temperatures. Check out the wind chills, maybe even single digits below zero at times tomorrow morning, teens in the afternoon, and we repeat it Wednesday. Sub-zero wind chills possible Wednesday morning and teens at best for those wind chills Wednesday afternoon. Tomorrow morning, single digits, a little bit of clearing, mainly cloudy tomorrow. We're up to 25 degrees. And then we focus on our next weather maker Friday into Saturday. That could bring a little more accumulating snow to the area Friday afternoon, Friday night, with some lingering snow showers in the region there on Saturday. Here's how it looks on the 7-day. 25 tomorrow, clouds, 24 Wednesday, 19 Thursday, 18 Friday with wind chills, sub-zero actual lows in the single digits. There's your snow Friday into Saturday. Calmer weather as we head into early next week, guys.
History is made in our nation's capital today, and it happened without violence. What lawmakers did to ensure the peaceful transition of power next.
And the formal goodbye to our 39th president is taking place in Atlanta. How the final respects will move to our nation's capital coming up next.
Cincinnati Pool and Patio.
Save a slayful at the After Christmas Sale on spas, patio furniture, and grills. Get a jump on spring with an above-ground pool for up to 60% off. Hurry, the After Christmas Sale is on for just a few days.
Check out the newest strength equipment at Planet Fitness. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're trying new machines in the new year.
We're building new muscles.
Finding new face.
New focus.
New bench. Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in? Join the club today. Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Being this third generation of St. Clair's, I've learned it's important to give props to those who deserve credit. First and foremost, we would not have lasted over 70 years without great customers like you. Thanks from all of us at Ray St. Clair Roofing. Also, my family has been blessed with some of the best and most talented professionals to work with. They embody the commitment to excellence that my grandpa and dad have taught us.
From all of us at Ray St. Clair Roofing, thank you for choosing us for 70 years.
Ray St. Clair Roofing.
Finding the best internet service just got easier. CNET has ranked Alta Fiber the best in town, and consumers agree. So get the best from the best.
The Panera You Pick 2 you've always loved now has a price you'll love even more. Starting at $8.98, mix 2 Panera faves to craft the perfect meal just for you. Whether it's a soup and salad or sandwich and mac, the choice is all yours. Panera's You Pick 2, endless combinations now starting at $8.98.
Naughty or nice will still be nice and give you up to 75% off selected items. Hot tubs, grills, and patio furniture. All floor models must go. The After Christmas Sale is happening now.
Cincinnati Pool and Patio. Affordable family fun.
And Donald Trump is officially certified as the winner of the 2024 presidential election. The proceedings today unfolded without violence or unrest. That is a stark contrast to 4 years ago when Trump supporters staged an insurrection at the U.S. Capitol to prevent President Biden's election from being certified. Vice President Kamala Harris, who lost the race, presided over the certification because the Constitution calls for that.
Former President Jimmy Carter is lying in repose at the Carter Center. People in the U.S. began to say goodbye to its 39th president Saturday. A motorcade with a hearse carrying the former president's remains traveled from Carter's home in Plains, Georgia to the state capitol before arriving at the Carter Center in Atlanta. Carter's body will lie in repose at the Carter Center until early Tuesday morning. His body will then be flown to Washington, D.C. The former president will then lie in state at the U.S. Capitol ahead of his state funeral at Washington National Cathedral on Thursday. Coverage of our winter storm continues.
Local 12 News live at 5:30 is coming up right after the break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Well, I'll be. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And Doug.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You're just a flightless bird.
No, he's a dreamer, Frank.
Well, I'll be. That bird really did it. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works, and I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good for me. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Have you ever dreamt of getting 2 of your fave Wendy's items for $7? Like a spicy chicken sandwich, Dave's Single, or 10-piece nugs? Well, today's the day your oddly specific dream comes true. Pretty good dream. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
You know those pictures of perfect closets that would make your friends jealous? Closets by Design made that affordable for me.
Get 40% off plus free installation. Call 1-800-BY-DESIGN or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Download the app and schedule today.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Good evening, I'm Megan Mongello.
And I'm Adam Clements. Thanks for joining us here at 5:30. All right, the Tri-State is seeing its biggest 2-day snowfall since 2008. Up to 10 inches have fallen in certain places. Some local school districts are already closing again tomorrow, and you can see all the closings at the bottom of your screen.
Our team of reporters covering the impact of the storm. Katie's has the best job.
Yeah, she got the luck. She got the good one. I saw she was sipping on a hot drink down there. Yeah, she's liking it. All the rest
are out in the elements. We're going to check in with them in just a moment. We're going to start, though, with Chief Meteorologist John Gauman. John, good news. It's coming to an end.
I'm just thinking, aren't you glad we don't have to do that anymore? Or it's rare that we have to do it. Yeah, it's all coming to an end. You do like it?
It's fun.
I don't like standing in the cold. I mean, I used to 10 years ago, but not so much these days. Look at the big snowfall totals. Over 11 inches at Aurora, Cleves, nearly that at Northgate International Airport, just shy of 11 inches, over 10 in Covedale. We saw a lot of 10-inch reports coming in from Kenton Vale, South Lebanon, Delhi Township, Mason, and College Corner, 9.5 inches. By the way, that 10.6 good at the International Airport for our biggest 2-day snowfall since 2008, as we mentioned, and also top 10 ever on record. There goes the snow pushing to the east of Cincinnati now. It's all gone. A few flurries possible through the evening. That's about it. Cloud cover lingers. We may see a few breaks in the clouds try to develop, but it's going to be plenty cold, breezy through the evening. And as we clear things out later tonight, we could drop into the single digits. Nippert Stadium, Cam, cloudy, 26 right now. Feels like 14 with the gusty winds out of the north-northwest at 16 miles per hour. There are the wind chills running in the teens now, so it's plenty cold everywhere you go. And the winds are still up. They're gusting to 24 at the airport, 25 up at Middletown and Lebanon. That's blowing the snow around a little bit, especially in outlying areas. Blowing snow could be an issue in spots through the evening here before the winds calm down after midnight. It's a slow fall in the temperatures through the 20s this evening. But the roads, they're going to stay pretty iffy, especially secondary and rural roads. The main roads in town, they're getting better. But tonight through tomorrow morning, that's when your biggest impacts will be. Improvement, though, slow improvement as we work through tomorrow into tomorrow afternoon. And guess what? There's more snow on the way, and I'll break down when that gets here coming up in my Weather Authority forecast.
Crews have been pre-treating the road since Saturday for the big snowfall. The city of Cincinnati says more than 100 drivers have been working 12-hour shifts to clear the snow. Local 12's Marilla Porter is live on Harrison Avenue in Westwood near the Cheviot line. Where are you at and how are things, Marilla?
Hi, Megan. Yeah, we're near Boudinot Avenue. Things are looking a lot better right now, obviously, since that snow has kind of let up. A lot of cars have started to come out. People are coming out of their houses to see what's open. A lot is closed, so that's for sure. It looks like White Castle's still open. People are pulling up to the drive-thru. A lot of people who maybe, have cars that are stuck on the streets have just been walking to wherever they need to go. But the city is prioritizing, obviously, those main streets. That's why Boudinot Boudreaux and Harrison look so good, but this side street that you're looking at right now where this car is coming down, I mean, it is pretty messy. Obviously, that's not their priority right now. Their priority is those roads where most people travel. Right here where this car is, you see it kind of starting to spin out a little bit. That's where a lot of people are getting stuck. That's some of the issues that we're seeing as people are starting to come out of their houses here. A lot of people are carrying shovels around to try to help dig themselves out of these kinds of situations. The city, you know, they have a lot to cover with 3,100 lane miles of road that they are responsible for. A big challenge, obviously, as the snow just kept falling, was just that it wouldn't stop. And they tell me that, you know, another concern as we start to progress forward is what happens when all of this starts to melt. Take a listen.
Obviously, if snow's melting and temperatures are dropping, you have to worry about refreeze and things like that. I just think at this point right now, we're a little bit, that seems so far away for us right now. We're trying to stay in this moment right now where it's still consistently snowing, and we have to continue to try to do what we can under these current conditions.
Yeah, and their goal is to eventually, you know, get to these side streets and make sure that all the streets across the city are passable about 24 hours after snowfall. For now, in Westwood, I'm Morella Porter.
All right, Morella, glad to know White Castle is open. Thanks for that.
All right, plows have been out for more than 24 hours trying to clear and treat the roads. Crews concentrated on the main roads, but despite their best efforts, some were still very difficult to navigate. Local 12's Dwayne Pullman joins us live now from Fort Wright with some new video of trouble on the road.
Behind me, this is 17, Kentucky Route 17. That's a major thoroughfare. Covington all the way out to the growth area of Independence. If you can take a look, you can see the road. Just a few hours, 3-4 hours ago, we could not see the road. Now, that also is a highway that has a lot of hill to climb and come down. Also over here, you have Highland Pike. Highland Pike, that you can see it on Kyle's Lane coming off of the deep cut. That is a major route as well. These have steep grades. Now, you can see much clearer now, but man, it was a rough 24 hours for both of these routes. Yesterday, my son Tyler, he has a dash cam. He was coming down this area right here, Highland Pike, and he said it was terrible. Take a look at this video from yesterday. It's amazing. You could see vehicles could not make it up that hill. They simply could not do it. Stop traffic everywhere. Many choosing to turn around and go back down the hill. It was just a mess. Now, about 4 hours ago, I drove down that same section. The roads were a little bit better, but they were still tricky. I spun out a few times on that. I also drove down Kentucky 17. It was really rough because in the section at the top of the hill as you get to Independence, it was down to one lane. It was not good. Barely drivable at that point in time. But I saw a lot of plows. They were out in force. And I can tell you as we drive these roads now a little bit, it looks so much better, so much easier to pass out here. So the crews have been really, really busy. Two keys to that, lots of snow plows, and there's not the snow coming down. You're going to hear that a lot. They are not competing with this heavy snow so they can get ahead of it. The question now from the people I'm talking to is what happens when we get super duper cold that's in the forecast, and how do you stay ahead of it now that the roads are wet? That's the next challenge. We're going to stay on top of it. Right now, I'm taking a look, and again, if you look at that road, I promise you, 4.5 hours ago, you could not see it. Now you can. Now you can drive it. It's not as slick. That's the good news out here. I'll send it back to you.
You can certainly tell the difference out there. Dwayne, thanks for sharing that video from your son, but tell him we have professionals who can handle that. He needs to stay safe, keep his eyes on the road, okay?
I will do that. Thanks,
right.
Adam.
All right. Thanks, Dwayne Pullman. We sent our Katie Amrine out as well to check out the conditions along I-275. She is warm and toasty inside one of our news vehicles. Katie, where are you now? And tell us what you're seeing.
Adam, I'm
I'm in Edgewood right now, and you were right earlier. I got the good job today. I got to just be in the car, and my photographer, Ryan, is driving us down. He's kept us safe all day. I'm going to flip it over to you. We're in Edgewood. We're driving down Dudley Road, one of the residential streets here, and this road is very plowed, very clear. It's been a mix as we've gone down and off different exits off 275 today. Milford and Mount Carmel had some side roads that still needed to be plowed through, while Blue Ash was doing a really good job. And of course, now that the snow has stopped and the crews are really braving it through now and really making their way through these side roads, things are definitely looking a lot better out here. We're going to continue to go down 275. We're going to get back on as soon as we're done this hit, and at 6 o'clock I'm hoping that we'll be around the Florence area, so that way you can see a little bit of how the streets are looking in Boone County. But for now, live at Edgewood, Katie M. Ryan, Local 12 News.
All right, I think that's a consistent theme, Katie. We're starting to see improvements vastly all throughout the tri-state. Thank you. Stay safe and stay warm.
Closures throughout the tri-state. Folks who live in Butler and Warren County, a lot of them got the day off, and it's no doubt helped to keep the numbers down on the wrecks on I-71 and 75 in the northern part of our viewing area. Local 12's David Winter live in Westchester with a look at the conditions there. And David, any activity now behind you in the plaza where folks would go to eat or just do things like Topgolf?
Yeah, there's very little. And as a matter of fact, there's been very little going on the I-75, which is behind me right now. I kind of jumped over to the other side of the camera so you could actually see. We've seen now about 6 emergency vehicles heading south on 75. Again, we're off of Union Center Road, and we're assuming that there has been a pretty bad wreck. We saw a couple of fire trucks. We saw 2 ambulances, and also we saw some police cars, but we'll definitely keep an ear on that and let you know if anything has happened serious. It sure looked like it. But yeah, a lot of places closed up around here. Topgolf right there. We called them earlier. They said that they are closed indefinitely. They don't know when they're going to be reopening. This is Chewy's behind me. Adam told me earlier when I called it Chevy's that it's actually Chewy's, and I apologize, Mr. Chewy, for that. But a lot of places closed, and it really has helped out a lot with the traffic. Quite frankly, a lot of people have not gone to work, and a lot of people have stayed away from patronizing these businesses, unfortunately for the businesses. But let's face it, not a lot of people wanting to go out. Take a look at some video that we took earlier. Side streets, even main arteries in Warren and Butler County. This is Montgomery Road in Deerfield Township. A parking lot plow driver stopped to help out a motorist, and we saw lots of cars and trucks in distress, a couple of wrecks. But considering the amount of snow that has dropped all day, not as bad as it could have been had everyone decided to go to work. But let's face it, even those who got the day off had some work to do. You said that you're from New York, huh?
Yes, I am. We used to. Big snow.
This isn't that bad for you?
Nah, I was just driving around in it just a little while ago. It's pretty nice.
It's just the other drivers.
Yeah. Ohio drivers don't know how to drive.
Not in this stuff, huh?
Not in this stuff. Not even in the rain.
I saw your neighbor down the street. He's got a snowblower. Why don't you bake him some cookies?
Bake them. Hey, listen, I got to get a workout in, right? Gotta sweat a little today. I'll be sitting inside the rest of the day.
Went ahead and shoveled, and then went ahead and salted, and then by the time we get back around from the other street, we had to come back around and do it again.
Well, no day off for that fella and his mates. We caught up with them as they were taking a well-deserved break. You can see that they are one of very few groups in the restaurant. This weather not only taking its toll on drivers, but also on businesses as well. Reporting live from the I-75, David Winter, back to you.
David, thank you. More weather coverage after the break.
Morning, Dr. Watson.
We need someone with your expertise.
Everyone who comes into this clinic is a puzzle. Remember, we're doctors and we're detectives. Doctors, detectives.
I kind of love it, if I'm being honest.
Everyone's faces and bodies are clues. Let's go solve the mystery.
Hi, I'm Lee Trevino. Most people know me for winning 6 PGA championships. With my bum knee, I started thinking I was going to have to trade my club in for a cane. Then I discovered Arthritis Knee Pain Centers.
Arthritis Knee Pain Centers has cutting-edge image-guided treatments that place a natural lubricating gel directly into your affected joints. This FDA-approved, non-surgical procedure replenishes the missing cushioning fluid to provide you with pain relief, comfort, and improved mobility without surgery or downtime. It's covered by Medicare and most private insurance. We've helped relieve the pain for thousands of our patients.
Arthritis Knee Pain Centers relieve my pain and change my life. They got me back in the game again, baby. Call them now and schedule your free knee pain assessment. Get the pain relief you deserve today.
In Cincinnati, call 800-925-3180. That's 800-925-3180.
Hey homeowner, are you tired of your outdated bathroom? Well, you're in luck. Bathmasters is now in Cincinnati. Our expert team will help transport your space into the bathroom of your dreams. Don't wait. Visit our new Cincinnati showroom or call today, 513-603-3711.
I'm Tom Drexler. We have been rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau for over 30 years. We had stopped drains for just $99. Schedule at TomDrexler.com.
I want Tom Drexler, that's his number. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a good day for driving by any stretch, but it was certainly a great day if you had a sled. Check it out. These kids were out early this morning at Montgomery Park in Montgomery. They didn't care that the wind was whipping, the snow was falling in their faces, and the temperature was in the low 20s. The trick, they say, is to get a good running start before flopping onto your belly for that trip down the hill.
And some people use the fresh powder to try out the skis. This guy was spotted in the Clifton neighborhood near UC as the snow started falling yesterday. He was able to move pretty fast down Warner Street. He said it felt great and he was getting some good exercise. We heard he wasn't the only one taking advantage of the snowfall on a pair of skis.
They say that city snow is the freshest of POW.
And that's called the ski snow in the city.
Yes.
City skiing.
City skiing.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, the snow has stopped falling, but the temperatures continue to drop.
Chief Meteorologist John Gum tells us what kind of impact the roads this could have on the roadways tonight.
Kick off 2025 with a new bathroom from the experts at West Shore Home. Every day we help hundreds of homeowners replace their outdated bath with something new and modern. And right now we're making it easier than ever with no payments or interest until 2026. With our New Year flash sale, you can get 12 months of no payments and no interest. And for a limited time, you can refresh your bathroom for less with 20% off your project. And we'll take an extra $500 off. Call today and don't miss out on these special savings. You can choose from hundreds of combinations of flooring styles, vanities, shower walls, and accessories. It's all part of a world-class remodeling experience that leaves homeowners raving. Check out the reviews online at westshorebath.com or search West Shore Home to see for yourself. This flash sale is extended this week only with no payments or interest for 12 months. Plus, take 20% off your entire project. And if you call today, you'll save an additional $500 off with flash sale savings. Start planning your bathroom today by visiting westshorebath.com. If you're at home right now and you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention to this next segment as we discuss neuropathy.
What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and the legs primarily.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms we see are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, problems with your balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results.
If you're experiencing burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or having balance issues, call today for your nerve damage screening. Your nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe there is nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Act now and call to schedule your nerve damage screening. First 25 callers receive this screening for free.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gum's hour-by-hour forecast.
Whew, that was a big one. Winds still blowing out there, drifting and pushing the snow around. That's going to continue to create some issues tonight. Winds are going to calm down a little bit after midnight. Bit of cold air, the next thing we're going to be looking at, with lows dipping into the single digits, sub-zero wind chills on the way. Oh boy, and then a little more snow. Late Friday into Saturday. Got our eyes on that. A little accumulation likely with that. They have canceled the winter storm warning, so that is gone tonight. But the conditions are still not going to be great out there, so we see lingering impacts here. I've got the red light up tonight through tomorrow morning, especially secondary roads, residential streets, rural roadways. They're still going to be a mess in a lot of cases. And with some blowing snow around this evening, that's only going to add to it. Some flurries also possible. Nothing that's going to stick through tomorrow morning, even into the afternoon tomorrow. But the bottom line is gradual improvement here is expected, even though temperatures are going to be very cold tonight. 24-mile-an-hour winds now up there in Middletown. They're gusting to 24 miles an hour at the International Airport. And with those winds gusting so much, it's blowing that snow around. You'll notice after midnight, winds begin to calm down quite a bit. So we start to lose the winds, and that's going to help to improve things. But the wind chills, they still could go below zero in the morning. Gorgeous shot there from our Nippert Stadium camera. The campus of the University of Cincinnati covered in snow. 26 now. North-northwest winds at 16. Feels like 14 when you factor in that winds. Wind chills are in the teens in a lot of spots. 17 down in Crittenden, 18 in Union, 19 out at Mount Orb, 15 in Hamilton, and again 14 at the airport. So clouds linger this evening, maybe a few breaks later on, and if we take away that blanket of clouds, it's really going to allow temperatures to fall fast with all this snowpack on the ground. You get all this snowpack on the ground. If you take away these clouds, that's going to lead to some bitter cold temperatures. Notice a few more flurries coming into Warren County, Clinton County right now. You may see a few flurries around in this cloud deck through the evening into tomorrow morning. Even tomorrow afternoon, some flurries are possible with things so cold. And this is a look at futurecast wind chills. A few degrees either side of zero tomorrow morning, so it's bitterly cold. Teens tomorrow afternoon for those wind chills, even though highs get into the 20s. And then we could be plenty cold on Wednesday too. Sub-zero, single-digit wind chills, and they don't get out of the single digits and lower teens here by Wednesday afternoon. So there's a look at things for the morning drive. We could fall into the single digits if we get a little clearing tomorrow morning. Red lights up for all the refreeze issues. Secondary roads, again, rural roadways will still be in bad shape. And then into the mid-20s tomorrow with some peaks of sun possible in the afternoon. Let's focus on Friday and Saturday now. That is our next accumulating snow system. No, it's not going to be a big one, not like the one we just saw. Those type of storms are rare in Cincinnati, but here's what we know. Light snow developing late Friday into Friday night. Some accumulations are likely with this, not as much as the current storm. Right now, it looks like anywhere from 1 to 3 inches would be a possibility here. Snow's going to move out Saturday. Travel, though, impacted late Friday into Saturday. And you can see the snow approaching late Friday afternoon into Friday night through Saturday morning, snow coming down, and then some lingering snow showers are possible Saturday afternoon before everything begins to move out. How quickly it moves out, though, still a little bit up in the air. Here's your 7-day, 25, mostly cloudy tomorrow, 24 Wednesday, single-digit lows possible if we get some clearing at night, and then 19, that'll do it Thursday, 18 Friday, as we see a little snow arriving late day Friday into Friday night. Some snow moving out there Saturday with a high of 28 degrees, so some impacts possible there late Friday and early Saturday. Sunday looks quiet. Monday looks quiet as we warm up, getting back into the low 30s there, both Sunday and Monday. But if you're making plans this weekend, stay up with that forecast Friday night into Saturday. Download our free Weather Authority app.
Now it's time for our Monday Misses.
Monday Misses is sponsored by Valley Bad.
For a second straight season, the Detroit Lions are the NFC North champs. The Lions were perfect in the red zone as they beat the Vikings 31-9 for the title. With the win, Detroit clinched the #1 seed in the NFC playoff picture, while Minnesota dropped to the 5 seed. Minnesota will open the postseason on the road in LA. And the NFC had one more playoff spot up for grabs, and the Tampa Bay Bucks secured it. Tampa beat the Saints 27-19. Bucks receiver Mike Evans notched his 11th straight 1,000-yard season. Tampa opens the playoffs at home against Washington.
Monday Misses was sponsored by Valley Beth. Be sure to tune in for Friday Favorites.
Unexplained and unexpected packages are showing up on some doorsteps, and the senders are counting on your curiosity to trap scam and how you can avoid becoming a victim.
And tonight on Local 12, the neighborhood starts at 8, followed by Papa's House at 8:30. Then it's time for NCIS at 9 and NCIS Origins at 10. Stay tuned for top stories in the hour-by-hour forecast on Local 12 News, live at 11.
Real-time reporting on every platform. Local 12, your first choice for news.
Why should you call Junk King when you need someone to take care of your stuff? Because we're the nation's top-rated junk calling company. 60% of everything we collect gets repurposed. So when you need someone to help you out, call the King.
Kyle, get back to work.
Yep. Sorry, Mike.
BourbonCon is back January 17th and 18th, a celebration of Kentucky bourbon with over 30 distilleries under one roof, bourbon tastings, vendors, cooking demos, a VIP tasting lounge, and much more. Tickets on sale now at bourboncon.com.
I have tried juicing and diet and exercise. I couldn't get these troubled areas to shift.
Sound familiar? You're not alone. That's why this celebrity housewife went to Sono Bello. One visit, permanent fat removal.
I saw results right away. The whole thing is just so exciting because I look in the mirror now and I see the body I missed all these years.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
When it comes to your personal health and happiness, you deserve the absolute best.
I'm just so thrilled with it. I just feel so much more confident. My body image feels great. I feel back to old Dorinda.
Dorinda transformed her body in one visit, and now you can too. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation now. Call 1-888-389-3370 or go to sonobello.com.
3 reasons I chose Kitchen Saver and why you should too. Kitchen Saver has so many styles to choose from. I transformed my outdated brown kitchen into a modern, sleek gray kitchen with less mess and stress than a traditional remodel. The Kitchen Saver installers were very friendly and super efficient. They completed my makeover in less than 5 days, which was really impressive. And lastly, I feel safe knowing I'm covered with their 10-year warranty. I highly suggest checking out Kitchen Saver.
Prepare to be impressed. Kitchen Saver.
Surprising medical charges tonight at 6.
This scam has some mystery. A package shows up at your door unexpected. Could it be from a loved one or a secret admirer? Don't let the curiosity fool you. In this week's Fighting Fraud, Cassie Arsenault says don't scan the QR code that comes with it.
It's called a brushing scam, and here's what the con looks like. A package will show up to your doorstep unannounced, and the sender wants you to scan a QR code so you can find out who it's from. But before you do this, be skeptical, because the reason for this is twofold. First, the scammer might want you to scan the QR code so that they can now write a review about the product that they sent you. They hope if they write enough fake reviews, this will pay off for them in a monetary way in the long term. If they have enough genuine reviews, they hope that they can sell hundreds, thousands, maybe millions of this product. Now, the other reason is much more likely. They want you to scan this QR code, and then it will take you to what looks like a legitimate website. And they're gonna have you put in personal information or login credentials in hopes that they can steal your identity, your money, or log into personal accounts that you have. They may even ask you to pay for this product that you didn't ask for.
You can keep it or do whatever you want with it. Throw it away if it's not something that you want. But, you should never pay for it. You should never, accept any kind of follow-up communications where they're asking you to do something, because in all likelihood, it's going to lead to some sort of financial fraud.
So how can you protect yourself? Well, if you can't figure out who sent you this package, as much as you'd like to believe it's a secret admirer, don't scan the QR code. Remember, there's no way to find out if a QR code is legitimate unless you scan it. And while it's unlikely that just scanning it alone will put a virus or ransomware on your phone, if it takes you to a different website and they want you to put in personal information, just don't do it. And if on this package the QR code seems raised like a sticker, That is a major red flag. Fighting fraud, I'm Cassie Arsenault.
That's all the time we have at Fox News, live at 6.
So, we're just trying to make sure we stay out there and keep on doing the job.
Doing the job for road crews means long hours trying to stay ahead of the snowstorm. We have live updates on the road conditions.
It can be really tricky when you have these major interstate disruptions and all that traffic pours onto Dixie Highway.
We're live with the impact of a snowstorm trouble spot, the Cut in the Hill.
I just felt like we needed to make a change there, and it's as simple as that.
Now that the season has come to an end, there is a coaching shakeup for the Bengals. Find out who's out and what might be ahead for the orange and black. This is Local 12 News, live at 6.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
And a very good evening to you on a very snowy Monday. I'm Kyle Linsky.
And I'm Paula Todi. Since the winter storm began on Sunday, the snow kept piling up. We have seen record amounts.
Yes, indeed. Another round of snowfall today made for another slow day out there on all the roads across the tri-state, and a busy day for all those people who are working so very hard to keep them clear. We have live team coverage on the current conditions. Our Chelsea Sick is east of town, and James Pilcher is near the Cut in the Hill tonight. But we want to begin right now with Chief Meteorologist John Gum, who looks at some of those totals that we've seen over the last couple of days and has a preview of what's ahead for us tonight. Hey, John.
10 plus to 11 plus inches, guys. Those were the biggest totals that we found. Aurora, Indiana, over 11 inches. We had 11 on the dot there at Cleves, just under 11 at Northgate, the International Airport, and in Covedale, just over 10 inches of snowfall. And we had a lot of 10s come in. Kentonville there in Kenton County, 10 inches on the dot. South Lebanon, Delhi Township, Mason with 10 inches, 9.5 at College Corner. Notice we've seen the snow moving off to the east of Cincinnati right now. It's all gone. It's out of here. Cloud cover is going to linger tonight. You may see a few flurries from time to time in this cloud deck. Also, a little bit of clearing possible later tonight with some breaks in the clouds. That's going to allow temperatures to get really cold. But for now, we're clouded in downtown. A few flurries here and there. Current temperature 26. North winds is 16. Now, those winds are going to calm down as the night goes on. But right now, they're producing a wind chill of 14 at the International Airport. Those wind chills in the teens in most spots right now. Feels as cold as 15 at Lunken, 14 in Wilmington, 16 Middletown, and 19 in Batesville, Indiana. 25-mile-an-hour gusts now at the International Airport, 21 Lebanon, 22 Middletown. That's still blowing the snow around, especially in outlying areas that aren't sheltered from the wind. So that's going to continue to give us some issues this evening. Actual air temperatures fall through the 20s, wind chills teens, and you'll notice a little clearing as we take away that blanket of clouds tonight. It's going to get bitter cold with temperatures perhaps as low as the single digits, wind chills sub-zero. So with all the cold around, with some refreeze issues, with some blowing snow this evening, roads are still going to be quite touch and go overnight into tomorrow morning, especially secondary roads and roads in outlying areas. The main roads in town, those are going to continue to improve and get better and better. That continues into the afternoon tomorrow with a few flurries even possible from time to time. Coming up in weather, we've got another system we're watching that could bring more accumulating snow, not as big as this, not even close, but it could bring some travel impacts, and I'll have more on that coming up in my Weather Authority forecast.
Plow drivers and crews spreading chemicals to fight the snow on the roads are hoping to make progress overnight and tomorrow. Let's begin with Chelsea Sick. She has been on the east side of town all day. And Chelsea, I think you've seen things improving there, right?
Yeah, we are in Columbia Tusculum right at Stanley Avenue and 50, and things are definitely getting better. But I wouldn't be out on these roads if I didn't have to be. So take a look at what we're seeing here now. This is 50. It's an improvement because we can actually see the road, but it's still pretty slushy. We're seeing drivers of all different kinds of vehicles still taking it pretty slow. But those side roads are what are really causing these drivers some problems still. This is Stanley. Obviously, you can see it's one of those hills here in Cincinnati that people dread to drive up and down during the snow. It is still snow covered. We have seen some cars not able to make it up even at this point point in the evening. We know those crews are working hard to get these cleared, but if you have to go out tonight, make sure you're taking it slow, especially on those side roads. We want to show you some video of what we were looking at earlier this afternoon, with people even having troubles on 50 when it was still really snow covered. I was talking to the Assistant Fire Chief, Matt Flagler, earlier this afternoon. He says they had more than 100 crews out on the roads trying to get these plowed. They're working 12-hour shifts trying to get it all done. We know they prioritize the main roads. Of course, 50 is one of those, hills and those hospital routes. So that's their main priority. Their main goal is 24 hours after the last snowfalls, when they hope to just get all of the streets in Cincinnati passable. So we know it was snowing up until about 4 o'clock this afternoon in some places. So they still have a lot of time to get those passable to meet their goal. This is the Assistant Chief's message to people who have to be out on the roads tonight.
Yeah, so even if the best case scenario, you're a good driver and you're out on the street, you could still find yourself in a position where you're stuck off to the side of the road, and then one of two things will happen. One of us is going to have to come and help you, or you're going to block the thoroughfare from our emergency vehicles, and we just won't be able to get through with all your cars in the street. So if you can stay home, that's the best thing for you.
The good news is really at 6 o'clock in the evening, any day of the week, we are used to seeing a pretty significant backup heading eastbound over on 50 because that bridge is closed. So this is the way a lot of people are trying to get home from downtown when they're at work. We're not seeing that. A lot of people stayed home, didn't go to work today. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what this road is like tomorrow. We know a lot of schools are starting to close. So we are assuming at this point that a lot of people will stay home from work as well, but only time will tell. For now, back to you all in the studio.
All right, good to see a little improvement there. A crash caught on camera shows the danger of driving too fast on snow-covered roads. State Troopers' cruiser camera was rolling while he was helping a tow truck crew on I-71 in Warren County.
583, another 31 just ran in the back of the tow operator.
Now the trooper says the driver was going too fast and slammed into the back of a tow truck, narrowly missing 2 people who were standing outside the truck.
All right, now we want to focus on northern Kentucky, where roads are still an issue, as some cities there are still recovering from a major accident that shut down I-71-75 earlier this morning. Local 12's James Pilcher joining us now live with how drivers are dealing with the very messy streets there in northern Kentucky. James, good evening.
Yeah, guys, I can say that the interstates are pretty passable with pretty much only tractor trailers coming through the cut in the hill in either direction here in Fort Wright. And the local roads are slowly improving, as you can see on Kyle's Lane here behind me. Now, that was not the case earlier this morning when a jackknife tractor trailer shut down the northbound lanes on the hill for several hours. That pushed traffic onto local streets in Covington and Fort Wright, including Kyle's Lane and Dixie Highway. Local road crews were still playing catch-up in this area this afternoon, while plows in other counties like Boone were still paying primary attention to just the main roads, meaning they may not get to the subdivisions and rural areas until later tonight or tomorrow. And even though some trucks are getting through on the interstate, other drivers are not getting to where they want. Dante Ellis of Dayton was trying to drive home last night from his job at the Erlanger Pepsi distributorship, but wound up having to get a hotel nearby on Dixie Highway after getting stuck. And now he's staying there again tonight after his shift, saying the roads are just not clear enough to get home.
When I got off last night, I was stranded on I-75 on the shoulder. As soon as I got on 275 to get on 75, it was an accident. I Googled a hotel and saw I'm at the Days Inn down the street, but I can't make it to Dayton.
So you're just hanging out at the hotel because you know you can't make it.
Right, can't make it home.
Tried to make it home last night, couldn't make it, and got stuck.
And I'm again today. I had to book another room.
Now, again, the big message from those heading the effort to clear these roads is to be patient, especially on side streets with the snow having come down so fast for so long. And then there's another request from the mayor here in Fort Wright. Don't shovel the snow from your driveway into the street. That makes even more work for those overstressed crews. Live in Fort Wright, James Pilcher, back to you guys.
All right, James, thank you so much.
Now, the snow may have stopped falling, but road crews are going to face a long night ahead. They want to make sure the roads are passable by tomorrow. Local 12's Katie Amrine has been in live drive this afternoon for us. So where are you now, Katie, and what are you seeing where you are?
Hi, Paula. So right now I am live in the Florence area on Ridge Road. It's one of few areas in residential streets. This is probably the worst one that we have seen today. I'm going to flip it around, guys. So we are currently on Ridge Road in Florence. It's just off of Burlington Pike, and this is a residential street. As you can see, this road has really not been touched. If it has been touched, maybe it was last night. So there are still some roads like this. There's some other roads that are a little better in Ohio that we've seen, such as the Blue Ash area, the Mount Carmel area. Some roads that still needed to get through, but overall the main stretches of roads, like when we went on Burlington Pike and Mall Road here in Florence, they are pretty clear right now. We've seen lots of crews going out and about, really clearing the way. This is just one road that hasn't been put through, and of course the snow has stopped falling here, so hopefully they'll be able to get through very soon. And it's just if you have to drive out there, just make sure that you are staying safe. Live in Florence, Katie Amrine, Local 12 News.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. Want to get to some breaking news right now out of Warren County. Search crews there are in Franklin trying to find this woman, 94-year-old Susie Couch. She disappeared from her home last night on Manchester Road in Franklin. Couch has dementia and was last seen wearing a pink light fleece shirt with no shoes. You are asked to call 911 if you see her. Please take a good look there at that picture. If you know anything, call authorities.
Crash is always a risk in winter storms, but what about when police ask you to simply exchange information? We have tips when it comes to your insurance claim.
And right now we want to give you another quick live look from outside from one of our traffic cameras. This is I-71 around Kings Mill and Mason, and the roads look good there. People not going too fast, so that seems to be a good sign that things around the tri-state are improving. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Real-time reporting on every platform. Local 12, your first choice for news.
It's Watson's After Christmas Sale. Shop now and save up to 50% store-wide on all spas, swim spas, saunas, and above-ground pools. Plus, interest-free financing until May of 2026. Only at Watson's.
Hold on, you're not going anywhere without me.
Thank you, dear. It seems like my legs have taken the day off.
At Assisting Hands, our caregivers become part of the family and provide compassionate care that helps your loved one feel safe and happy at home.
Hi, Mom. Oh, hello, dear.
Hey. Hey. She's having a great day. Thank you.
Assisting Hands. Every journey is unique. At Great Oaks Career Campuses, high school juniors and seniors from 36 districts across Southwest Ohio can choose from over 30 diverse career pathways, earn college credits, gain work experience, secure industry credentials, graduate high school, and be prepared for whatever comes next. Pursue your passions, play to your strengths, discover your greatness.
It's Watson's After Christmas Sale. Save up to 50% store-wide on 2024 floor models, overstock new inventory, scratch and dents, and more. Pool tables, shuffleboards, home theater groups, overstocked outdoor furniture, and more. Plus, interest-free financing until May of 2026.
In birth injury cases, experience matters. Trust Elk & Elk. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
The winter operations team at our international airport has been busy for the past 2 days. They have to clear all those runways, all the connection parts of the airfield, as well as the roads and the sidewalks at CVG. Now, there are still some canceled and delayed flights into and out of our airport. If you want to check those, you can go to local12.com, and we have a link so you can have a live look at the departures and the arrival page. But you can see some canceled and delayed flights if you go to that link. The CVG website also has a 5-step guide for air travelers planning to fly this winter. Again, we have a link to that at local12.com. Just look at the Get It Now links under the news tab there.
And with all the snow, police don't want you to call them out to a no-injury car accident. But how do you make sure your insurance still recognizes the claim? Local 12 consumer reporter Cassie Arsenault shows us exactly what to do. Cassie.
Yeah, so the Cincinnati Police Department put into action their emergency auto accident reporting procedure. What this means is don't call them to an accident if there are no injuries and report it instead when you can and when it's safe. But here's what you need to know so that your insurance actually recognizes this claim. So I did reach out to State Farm just to get a general idea of what's going on here, and they confirmed in any normal circumstance they want you to call police even for a minor car accident. But in this case, you should go to your local police department as soon as you can or as soon as it's safe and get the report number for your insurance. But while you're at the scene, you really need to remember to get all of these things. First, get all passengers and drivers' names, the vehicle description, driver's license numbers, insurance and policy number, the accident location, and names and contact information for a witness, and definitely take as many photos as you can.
When something like this happens, especially in bad weather, you just want it done. You want to get out of there, you want to get home, you want to get warm, everything else. But taking those extra couple minutes to collect driver's license information, take photos, contact information, policy number from the other driver can be invaluable. It's not something that you're going to want to sit and try to find 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, something like that.
Yeah, don't be lazy. Imagine finding all of that stuff or trying to find all of that information later. It can be a nightmare. And just a reminder, most policies want you to report and submit a claim within 30 days. So keep that in mind when you're waiting around or maybe you're not getting to it. Go do it and report it to police as soon as you can. It's just going to help you in the long run when it comes to your insurance claim. Back to you guys.
All right, Cassie, great tips as always. Thank you so much. Well, a lot of people talking about this next story. The Bengals making some big changes in the coaching ranks, and we're going to hear from Zach Taylor about those decisions.
Plus, players speak out as they clean out their lockers after the season ends and hope for the next year begins.
Volunteer today to help over 3,500 kids in Cincinnati that have been removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. ProKids trains and supports community volunteers to stand up for kids and help them thrive. ProKids Vision is a safe, permanent, and nurturing home for every child.
Download the app and schedule today.
Start earning entries now for the Mercedes Madness giveaway, January 25th at Miami Valley Gaming.
40 years ago, bath fitters set out to give homeowners a simple solution to bathroom renovation that they can trust. Today, with over 2 million happy customers, Bath Fitter remains the name you can trust. Bath Fitter. Why would you choose anyone else?
The Triple Option Podcast, presented by Wendy's. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Tom Drexler. We have been rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau for over 30 years in a row. We're experts at plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. We unstop drains for just $99. Schedule at tomdrexler.com.
One Tom Drexler, that's his number. Yeah.
Gold Bond believes touch says everything. It says, I see you, I feel you, and I know you. Gold Bond. Get in touch with irresistibly touchable skin.
Is your furnace struggling to keep up? Let Help Home Services give you a quote on a new system. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to keep your home warm and comfortable, and how much lower your energy bills will be. Our quotes are always free, and your system can be installed the very next day. Right now, we're offering up to $3,500 off any new system. Stop putting it off. You need a new furnace. Call Help Home Services today.
Real-time reporting on every platform. Local 12, your first choice for news.
The roads are not the only places where things are treacherous. The snow, freezing rain, and extreme cold slows things way down for crews on the barges and towboats that transport goods on the Ohio River. These pictures are from the crew of the Amherst Madison at Rising Sun. The education group We Work the Waterways says that it takes 3 to 4 times longer to put the barges together because crews have to make frequent trips to the boat to warm up. The decks are also extremely slippery, so every step must be taken with extreme caution. The crews work 24/7, but the boat may stop in heavy snow or whiteout conditions if the captain believes that it's too dangerous.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Chief Meteorologist John Gumbs' hour-by-hour forecast.
Wow, I can't even imagine working on a barge in this kind of weather. Hats off to those that do that work, that much needed work. All right, take a look at these snowfall accumulations. We continue to get more reports trickling in. Aurora, Indiana, over 11 inches, 11 at Cleveland of 11. A new report coming out of Landon of 11 inches. Just shy of that at Northgate. We got a new report coming in from Greenfield, too, of 10.3. 10 in Delhi Township, a new report from Martinsville of 10, Kenton Valley and Kenton County, Kentucky, 10 inches there, and the International Airport, 10.6 inches of snowfall officially there over the last 2 days. I showed you this a little earlier. What I did is I went back and made this more clear. I took out some of the duplicate storms here that lasted 3 days. So these are the biggest 2-day snowfalls in Cincinnati history. February 4th and 5th, 1998, January 6th and 7th, 1996. Those the two biggest, 18.3 and 98, 14.4 and 96. I remember that one vividly. I rode that out in Withamsville. And then in 1917, 11 and a half. 1978, that was the blizzard of 78, 11.3 inches. Only fourth on the list, but that was number one from impacts because there was tons of snow on the ground already and the winds blew it around everywhere. 11 inches in 1910. And then take a look at this. In 2008, March of 2008, 10.7. But here's our storm showing up 7th, a top 10 all-time biggest 2-day snowfall in Cincinnati history. A couple other storms of note in 2021, 9.8, and you remember the storm just before Christmas in 2004. Some areas had over a foot officially for Cincinnati, 9.4 inches out of that one. So this was a big one. It doesn't happen much. We still have some snow blowing around tonight. Winds calm down after midnight, so that will subside a little bit. Bitter cold air, though. Single-digit lows, wind chills sub-zero the next few nights. And then a little more snow Friday into Saturday. Accumulations likely, but it won't be like this one. Watch the roads. You may see some flurries from time to time, even some peaks of sun on the way tomorrow. But it's the bitter cold temperatures tonight that will keep things not so good out there. Winds also keeping things not so good. 25-mile-an-hour gusts from the north in Cincinnati, 22 Middletown, 24 Lebanon, making for wind chills tonight in the teens. Those winds will calm down after midnight, so notice by tomorrow morning they're generally under 10 miles per hour. That'll still make it feel colder than it actually is. Our wind chills tonight in the teens and 20s in some spots. By morning, flirting with the single digits, even below zero. So clouds this evening, maybe some flurries. You see a little clearing later tonight. That'll be key to just how cold we get tonight. You can see the snow showers moving out. Some flurries, though, moving back through Warren, Clinton County. So some of those could be possible overnight, especially east of town. This model actually has some breaks in the clouds into tomorrow morning. If we pull away that blanket of clouds, that will allow our temperatures to fall into the single digits. Wind chills either way are going to be running a few degrees either side of zero tomorrow morning. Teens in the afternoon. We do sub-zero wind chills in spots again Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon, lucky to get those wind chills out of the single digits into the teens. Careful on the morning drive, could dip into the single digits tomorrow, mid-20s at best, more clouds than sunshine. Then we watch Friday, more snow developing late Friday into Friday night. It looks like accumulations are likely, but this is not going to be a big one. It looks to be a small one. It's going to move out Saturday, but you can see here by late Friday afternoon and evening, another push of some light snow moving across the area. Some snow showers could linger there during the day Saturday. So we'll keep you updated on that. Right now it looks like 1, 2, or 3 inches of snow possible with that one. 25 tomorrow, 24 Wednesday, lows in the single digits, teens for highs Thursday and Friday as that next snow moves back in. It moves out Saturday. Temperatures warm up a little bit into the early part of next week. But if you're making plans this weekend, keep up with the weather forecast with our free Weather Authority app.
The Local 12 444 Sports Report, sponsored by the law offices of Blake Maesland.
After 6 years as defensive play caller, Lou Anarumo's time with the Bengals has come to an end. The Bengals firing Anarumo after a disappointing season on the defensive side of the ball that finished in the bottom half of all statistical categories in the league, including 25th in points and yards allowed. Here's head coach Zach Taylor earlier today discussing the decision to move in a new direction.
Just as I evaluate everything within the organization, I just felt like we needed to make a change there. And it's as simple as that. And we'll start that process immediately of evaluating where we need to go and who we want to bring in to help help take us to the next level. But again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what those guys did, and they worked hard every single day, and they're great football coaches, and they'll land on their feet very quickly.
And Anarumo, not the only coach the Bengals parting ways with today. Defensive line coach Marion Hobby also fired, as the Bengals D-line was a revolving door this year outside of Trey Hendrickson. Linebacker coach James Betcher and offensive line coach Frank Pollock also fired the Bengals, allowing 48 sacks this season with that offensive line.
You know, it's sad, man. You know, just because it's our livelihood. He has such a great passion for us as players and for coaching the game of football at the offensive line position. You know, it's sad.
Today was a day players hope won't come until after the Super Bowl. It was locker cleanout day. Players breaking out the trash bags, cleaning out their lockers for the season after missing out on the playoffs for a second straight season. This was a season that included some ups, some downs, and also some surprising bright spots, including finding the new leader in the running back room in Chase Brown, who talked about getting off to faster starts next season.
Next year, we just got to come out hot instead of, you know, warming up like we did this year. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I know what we're capable of. So, you know, everybody's going to go into this offseason hungry, with a chip on their shoulder and ready to come back next year full speed, ready to go. And really.
How surprising is it for this Bengals team to miss the playoffs? Well, they're the first team in NFL history to have the league's leading passer and receiving leader in Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Chase, of course, winning the Triple Crown as well. And the NFL sack king, Trey Hendrickson, with 17.5 sacks. And in baseball news, the Reds reportedly making a deal with the Dodgers to acquire second baseman Gavin Lux from L.A. to fill that hole in the infield after trading Jonathan India. Lux hit .251 last season with 10 home runs and 50 RBIs. That'll do for sports. They'll be right back.
You know those pictures of